talk about your music. Let's talk about what you do, because after all, that's what we do on the Futon, is we want to showcase you, your music, and kind of tell people a little bit about what you wrote about and where you're going to be coming up and how they can listen to you. So
where you started from.
Yeah. You now you haven't always been a solo artist.
Correct.
A solo
right,
artist,
yeah.
but you are now. You're rolling solo.
Yeah.
But you are now. But before this, now you spent some time in Los Angeles playing in a couple of bands. One of which, Ragtag. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Sure. Like, well, when I came, because I grew up in Walla Walla. When
Washington,
I grew up in playing in a just a high school band with my friends, and
what kind of music did you guys play?
It was more like hard rock. Like at that time, like Jesus, a long time ago, but we were like really into Motley Crue, that whole like mid 80s kind of zone.
Yeah.
So Seattle hadn't happened yet, so we weren't kind of tuned into the what came out in like 90s.
Seattle hadn't found its heroin yet.
Right.
No,
so well, they just hadn't spun it into an actual music scene. So so we headed for California and played around with that band there, and that was James Danielson, Eric Turner, myself, and Nick Oliveri were in that band. So,
Nick Oliveri. Now, this is the same Nick Oliveri that went on to play with Queens of the Stone Age.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I was about to say, I recognize that name from somewhere.
Yeah. So that was Nick, and then when Nick moved on from to go back, I think he went back at the time to Caius. And he went back there. Then his brother, like he couldn't imagine like two great bass players coming from the same family, but his brother Dean played with us in the next version of that band, which became Woodshed.
Sometimes family spawns champions, though. Look at the Mannings.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, no kidding.
so well, it's close to Super Bowl time, right? We're still in football season, so Football Reference works. But yeah, so in and around that time of playing in that band, we played the clubs around LA and kind of lived that dream for a while. So
basically you started out in a small town up in Washington, wanted to make it on the big time, and thought the next big step next step would be to move to Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, hell, we thought we were it, like
right.
When you got to LA.
I'm pretty sure everybody is
convinced.
Then
you realize, then you realize there was more than the bands that were in Hit Parader at the time.
You're a drop of water in a large bucket up there.
There you go.
So, but you still, you didn't give up. You persisted. You stayed with the band for quite a long time, and even was with another band called Woodshed.
Right. That just was kind of the natural transition from kind of the rock of trying to kind of live in that kind of the glam zone, which we really weren't that. And trying to figure out who we were, and then it moved more towards kind of what I play now. There hasn't been, it's not too far a departure from what I do today of what Woodshed became. It was more of a jam band, like more of a Grateful Dead kind of influence in that. But it still had like the band, the Grateful Dead, kind of a mixture of Bob Dylan and that kind of feel, an Americana rock kind of feel.
So that kind of bridged the transition from being, hair, glam, rock and roll.
And obviously, I mean, we're on a podcast, but the hair thing was I was never going to be able to, sustain that thing for.
Did you wear a wig at all ever on stage?
No, hell no.
Oh
okay, good. All right.
No, when I knew at a very young age, looking at my father, that I was not going to have magnificent hair as I got older.
Well, it's supposed to come from the mother's side, I thought.
So
that's not where your hair's going.
So but at any rate, so no. So as soon as I felt like I couldn't hold it anymore, then I went straight to shaved head. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just own it.
That's right.
I love it. Studies show that women think that bald-headed men are smarter and sexier.
I definitely
what
agree.
Study is that?
I know, right?
It's not the study. It's I want to know where those people who took the surveys are, so I can talk to them.
Here we go.
We're geographical.
I get it. Must
take the official 2 women survey right now. Okay, and I'm gonna. Okay, so shaved head or man bun?
Bicked man.
Yes. Okay, so there we go. Allie, shaved head or man bun? There we go.
I thought I heard man
unanimous.
bun. There you go. So it must be a millennial thing.
You and Big John are the 2 sexiest things in the room right now.
You are,
and
Tyler. Tyler's got hair.
I'm in a last second place right now, and it's like a long shot. I look like an underachiever by far. to the 10th degree. Anyway, they're here to talk about me. We're here to talk about Rick Shelley. Big John, how far are we into this? Do we want to get to a song right now?
We're good.
We're good?
We're ready.
I want to hear a song.
I do too.
Why don't we let the guest pick the song?
Usual. This is the kind of route we decided to take, is let you pick how we want to open.
He doesn't remember which songs he sent us, so I'm going to give him the list right now.
Let's start. Like I think I can recall them. Let's do just do Dead Horse Hollow off of that.
Okay. All right, we're going to start out with a good one here. This is Dead Horse Hollow, and it's on this album Hope Wrapped in a Razor Wire.
Before I hit the go, I want to check something that I didn't check yet. All right, I knew it. Okay.
We have to say it again.
No. I can edit that shit out. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
He says that every time.
He actually does.
Always you get to watch the engineer do his magic, but right now I have a perfect view.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yeah, we do things differently around here.
Immediately, it totally like paints the picture and sets this stage for you. It's almost like the opening of like a Walking Dead episode, you know.
Little Fleetwood Mac-ish.
No.
It is hot down on the roadbed, cold and hard and rust tonight, while the whiskey-driven hammers of those strikers went on fine. Only 13 hours of daylight, boys, not a minute of its shade. But don't go weak near Dead Horse Hollow. They just dig another grave. They just dig another grave. £500 of hardened rail line holds the engine and the gear. Stuff is cut, won't bleed out, willing it won't cry or shed no tear. Let the whiskey kill the sorrow, the gut it will not save. But don't go weak in the Dead Horse Hollow. They just dig another grave. Just dig another grave.
So what is Dead Horse Hollow?
So where the origin of this song actually started off with a poem that I had been reading from a poet, Theodore Rothke.
Mm-hmm. Everybody knows him. You know Theodore, right?
And I had no idea who he was.
Teddy, I know Teddy.
But I had talked to a friend about just wanting to read some poetry, and her dad was a literary professor back east. And she said, "Oh, you should read this guy." So I went, of course, I immediately went and Googled the guy's name. And one of the poems that came up was something called Night Journey. And it talks about this person riding the rail at night and hearing the rumble of the train across the roadbed, which led me into just reading about Irish road workers. Mm-hmm. This is based on a true story from 1832.
Wow.
Well, that's so rad.
So,
you know, when I was listening to it, it's like I want the CD to just put in my car and just go for a ride, you know, and just listen to the songs unfold.
Go train chasing.
Yeah.
But there's a line in it that says 56 and poor John Ruddy without a stone down in the trees, and it's these 57 Irish railroad workers from Donegal, Ireland. Came here in 1832, and within 2 months were dead and buried in the side of this. Just about 30 miles outside of Philadelphia, and they're exhuming that grave and sending them back to Ireland right now. So
really,
nobody warned them about the occupational hazards of working on the railroads in the 1800s.
So what did they die of? Was it different variety of things, or?
Oh, geez, no! You almost gave them a bonus song, Big John.
No, they. It's they think that there was some foul play in it, but back then, you know, there was a lot.
They didn't bury themselves.
Yeah, but they think that you know, back then there was a lot of cholera outbreaks and stuff like that. So, but there's some evidence that there was some people put down, and so
take those jobs, right?
Like, well, my Irish family, you know, they're not digging like they used to.
Normie.
Maybe they got a little bit of the cholera.
But the itinerary of the people that came over, he was John Ruddy was 18 years old. Mm-hmm. So you think the guts it took to come that far and to meet that end. But it's so anyway, that story just struck a chord with me, and I just when I was reading it, happened to have my dobro with me, and the song just kind of just
developed, eh?
yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's straight from God's fingers into your guitar. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. Now,
Lyrics.
who played the banjo on that one?
There is actually no banjo on that. That's all.
What?
It's all dobro.
Really?
It's all dobro. Yeah, there's a dobro guitar. A guy by the name of Bob Fergo played fiddle on that, and he was Leonard Cohen's fiddle player,
Very cool.
violin player, like for Leonard,
yeah.
but for me it's fiddle. But Bob's great, and that was all from that great talent of working at High Lonesome and the guys that work in and out of their session players. So
I ain't never
Yeah.
heard a fiddle called a violin.
He's from East County, so
There
he
you
calls
go.
it by the proper
I'm
name.
actually from
So-
Georgia, really East County.
So there you go.
East
Yeah.
County.
So and that sound like that,
Uh-huh.
the Appalachian sound or Ozark sound is like
the only real
what I
difference
love.
between those two instruments is mainly how you play it.
mhm.
Really,
Yeah.
it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with tunage or anything. It's strictly how you play it and how you treat the instrument itself.
You had a big banjo, I think. during-
Banjo, yeah,
Yeah.
but we're talking fiddles.
Oh, there we go. I'm still in my
A
banjo.
banjo is a banjo.
Yeah.
He's stuck on that
Then
one.
there's a
but-
fiddle.
No, but yeah, no,
He
yeah.
doesn't want to be wrong.
Fiddler on the Roof.
All right.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I like that song. So that was off of your second album, Hope Wrapped in Razor Wire.
Correct.
That one came out 2017, and it apparently it made it to the top 100 of a alternate route. Is that like magazine or?
Yeah, the Alt Route is a internet magazine or
Mhm.
or whatever. So yeah,
That's
they
pretty
chose
nice.
that. It really is.
Yeah.
Kind of
Congratulations.
beat your chest a little bit
Yeah,
there. like,
great.
Oh, good.
It's a great site too for keeping track. Like I follow them along for all sorts of new music and other music coming from around the country. They review it all. So
nice. We do that too.
Yes.
so
Totally. What was the name
Well,
of
we,
that
we
song?
don't review songs per se. We let the artist review them with us.
yeah, this is a like full write ups and reviews. And
Oh,
stuff like
okay,
that.
all
So
right, yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
they give their opinion on if it's bad or good. We just bring music.
We just
you
dance
just
around
suffer
the
through one
topic.
way or the other.
exactly.
Smile.
It doesn't matter if the music sucks. It's about the artistry.
There you go.
Was this one produced by Chris Unk?
Yeah,
No. So you met him in 2015,
right.
and this Chris Unk, he's the same guy who also produced for Pink.
He didn't produce Pink.
Oh, okay.
They worked with Butch Walker right
Okay.
in that time, and they've all written together and so on. So that's where that's kind of his lineage. He's from Athens, Georgia, around that area. So,
Just so you know, right?
so yeah, and Chris has High Lonesome. That's his studio. So
Cool, but great production quality. I loved it.
It did sound really good. Sorry, I've been
It
like
did.
trying to engineer shit around here, so I'm not tying in too much here. But
No
whatever.
worries. No worries.
Works out.
Speaking of awards and accolades, you also got CV Music Awards nominee for Best Country Band / Artist.
Really?
Easier for me to say.
Nice.
Best Male Vocalist, Best Unsigned Album, and that was that one. Hope Wrapped in Razor Wire.
Wow. Where can we find it?
Well done.
So,
well,
I mean, you can buy any of the records. You can buy through iTunes. I'm on Spotify. All that you can buy it right straight from the website. My website, rickshelleymusic.com.
And buy the music because it's better for the artist.
It is better for the artist. Spotify, I think I get like a 15 cents maybe a month or something like that. That
Yeah.
comes in from my
Yeah.
And that's
royalties,
after
so-
150 plays.
right.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to stop the gas pump like right at 15 cents.
it is hard.
But and you don't get far either. So
Right.
Now you have to turn right around and push the car back to the pump.
so the name
that's so true.
of the album, Hope Wrapped in Razor Wire.
Right.
Where does that kind of spawn from?
Well, there's a song on the record too, Hope Wrapped in Razor Wire, but it's the song itself, people when they hear it think it's about someone specific, and without giving it away, it's really not. It's kind of wrapped up in lots of people that I know.
Is it
And-
wrapped up in hope and razor wire?
There you go. And it was an image that I got from
Sorry.
that's all right. This is serious.
Yeah, right.
Big John. This is a serious
Yeah,
thing.
grow up.
Yeah. Get back to engineering with you.
So
What's going
I don't know. The door blew open. I don't know.
So the but the song's kind of an amalgam of people, but some of the most warm people have they've been hurt so badly that they've kind of cocooned themselves and or protected themselves by barricading themselves inside.
Yeah.
And so that's really what that song is about. Like all your hope, all your love, and everything like that. You've just kept it inside, and you keep everyone outside that perimeter.
Yeah. I think we've seen a lot of that in the music industry as of late, with all of the deaths of these people that you'd never thought would ever go. And all of a sudden, they're shining so bright one day, and right after their show, they're gone.
It's crazy. That's crazy, the amount of depression and things.
Does that kind of a message, or did I
think
totally
it was just
miss
loneliness.
that one?
I think, lonely people.
I don't think you did anything there except for say ensconce in the proper terminology.
Did he use it in a
Yeah, he used it correctly.
Yeah.
I don't think he knew he used it correctly.
I don't think so either.
I'm sitting here like wiping the sweat off my brow, like, thank God.
I tried that $20 word and I got it. Nailed it.
It's Big John approved.
Like, well, Tyler, you talk prettier than a $20 whore.
See, you are special, Tyler.
Yeah,
you are.
I am.
But the real special person here is
Spicy Kim.
No, I was going to say Rick
Dang it.
Shelley.
See, off my mark again.
I'm going to put your helmet back on.
We're going to take you home and push the reset button.
It's just
Unplug
it's still
you for
broken.
10
I came out
seconds, plug you
defective.
back
It all
in.
came out,
I called the short bus. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
Here's your helmet.
Exactly. Yeah. Kim, it looks like you got all sorts of questions bubbling around in there.
I want to know when you started playing music.
Oh God, a long time ago, back in the 80s when I started. The guys in the band didn't give me a guitar though till many years later.
Yeah.
But I just started off as a singer and in Walla Walla with my friends, practicing in a little tin like storage shed when it was freezing cold outside.
For singing, or did you just kind of like, yeah, sure, I'll do this?
What happened was we just all took turns to see who could sing a song.
Okay.
Like we had a singer.
How old were you?
We were young. It was high school, so we had. First of all,
I love it.
My friend was the singer in this band, and then I just showed up. I had bought a guitar. I didn't have an amp. I'd bought this electric guitar, so then I just show up.
Was it the Guitar Center special?
It was a Hondo. That was the Hondo Stratocaster like knockoff. Like,
yeah.
So I bought it, and I wanted to show up, and I knew the guys. And I knew the guys, but the friend that I went with was going to be their singer. So then I just started hanging around, and I never left. And the friend of mine, that was their singer.
That's how you become a band member.
They figured
the
out
definition
that
of a singer, the guy who never left.
That's kind of it. And then my friend Joe, he couldn't really. They didn't want to keep him anyway, and so then we just went around and they said, "Oh crap, you can sing. Put down that Hondo guitar that you got, and then you just sing." And so I did that for the longest period of time, like even into LA.
Were you like, you guys don't like my guitar playing?
It was not good.
At least you owe that shit. That's
It's
right.
much better now.
It was I can kind of.
I can't believe you've skilled yourself that well in just a year.
Yeah, somewhere along the way you figured it out, it seemed like. So
I just turned that skilled. I don't think that's right use of that word. Skilled.
And so you used a tiny word in the wrong way. I used it as a big word, and I get made fun of. I get shamed for that.
Oh, sorry.
You get shamed for everything.
I don't know why I keep coming back. I think I have like a Stockholm syndrome or something.
Oh my gosh.
Just like they really do it because they love me. I know it.
Now I'm gonna have to look up Stockholm syndrome.
Big words being thrown around.
Jeez.
Got to look up skilled, see if you can actually use it as a verb.
The proper use.
Like, guys, I'm from Riverside, okay? All right.
Oh my gosh.
There's a university there.
There is.
Only one.
There is.
Yeah.
And it's a sign language.
Yeah, it's a
university.
street. It's a street. It's called University. That's it. Yeah.
Nicely played.
It's like Donald Trump University.
Oh my god.
I said it.
I'm going to edit that shit out because you know how I feel about politics.
Yeah, we're not going there. We're not going there.
It's just funny voice. Come on, he's a meme factory. I gotta love him for that reason at least. He's great.
It's great.
And no, I'm not even gonna go in there. No. I'm gonna put up a closed sign on that road right there. No, see, I'm just a fan of irony. So, but we're not gonna discuss why. So, coming back to Rick Shelley.
So when did you
Rick
pick
Shelley,
the guitar?
everybody. You guys
Hey,
know he
Rick.
just got here. He just showed up.
It just did.
Is that the guy with the guitar over there?
Yeah, that sexy bald motherfucker over there in the chair.
Survey says.
We have something in common.
It's so true.
And he
Ding,
drinks
ding, ding,
smart
ding,
water
ding.
too.
Oh, there you go.
Uh-oh.
See, it all ties together.
That's how you get smart.
Boy. So when did you pick up the guitar again?
Well,
When he
through
fired the
Woodshed.
rest of
No,
the
through Woodshed later, like
Woodshed.
5
Okay, so
seconds.
yeah, as you know, after Ragtag and into Woodshed, then I
Okay.
started playing. So
Yeah.
and then we shared like vocals between James and myself and
Awesome.
so on. So
Cool.
So you were with Woodshed for 12 years, but also it said that you're not in Woodshed anymore.
yeah, we never really stopped. There's we did 3 full records, and then there's one that has never been released. There, it's
Oh.
just sitting there.
So you're going to spaghetti incident this thing like Guns N' Roses and like 19
Right.
years later come
yeah,
out
because
with
there's a huge
That is-
demand for it. But it's
You got to give the people what they want, man.
That's true though. No, you got a point there. Yeah, you're right. Go ahead.
but there's no, we did that, made that record. God, I want to say like around 2003, somewhere in there, at Rancho de la Luna up in the high desert there, and it was kind of very symbolic of the time because I think the last session that Eric played, he's the drummer, got on his motorcycle and headed north, like and went back up to the northwest, and then slowly over time, both James and him had moved back up to the northwest. So it was just kind of this.
Like slow dissolving.
Right, and we all still talk. I was just in the Northwest just late in last year and stayed with James, and he still plays, and everyone is still connected.
Uh-huh.
It had just kind of run into that what do we do now kind of moment, and everyone had some there's money issues like.
Yeah.
It
Things
just
like that,
wasn't
so
the priority anymore in life.
Right.
Well, you just kind of run into stuff every once in a
Yeah.
while, and you got to take care of you got to take care of business, and
Yeah.
so
You took 10 years off to take care of business, as it were.
yeah,
Family,
pretty much,
right?
yeah.
Kind of important,
Yeah.
yeah.
Those people.
What happened?
No. So now that we live in the age, I mean, of media sharing and data transfers, I mean, you ever thought about calling the guys from Woodshed back up and saying, "Hey, I worked on a couple tracks. See what you guys can do with this." And I've heard of long distance relationships
Yes,
working pretty well.
it's
I guess,
true.
for
Well,
the
James and I talked when I was there the last time. He's a fantastic mandolin player, and I have some songs that I want him to track on. So that's how we'll end up doing that. So and I'm excited for him to be able to play.
Nice. No more dobro.
Very cool.
Get a real Mando in there.
Yeah. There you go.
2 different instruments, 2 different things.
Like, what are you doing over there?
It's a fiddle. That's a violin. I don't know.
Gonna have to have
A banjo.
flashcards.
How about we?
This
How
is what
about
this
we?
one does.
We do need a whiteboard.
How about we
honestly, too.
hear more of Rick?
Yeah.
I like that. I think maybe a live
Yeah. That's what I'm
performance.
thinking.
He's ready.
Oh.
He's already ready.
Okay, so this is man, I'm just not my brain sometimes about this time of day is not there. But
Our brain's not there any time of the day.
The
So
coffee is worn off.
Yeah, we have that effect on people.
So
this is a song called All She Really Wants. It's on Hope Wrapped in Razor Wire as well. It's not one of the ones that I sent you guys, but
that's okay.
there's a hawk feather hanging from the heart of this woman that I know, but I don't know her well. Tell me stories of the places that she's been to, all the lovers that she's been through, little secrets, little lies. And all she really wants is someone to believe her, then she changed the names of the innocent. And all she really wants to be innocent too.
That's a great line.
The eye smell looks like smoke rings in her glass there on the table, her reflection on the window too outside. She makes paintings drawn in watercolor, all of them of children that mostly look like her. And all she really wants is someone to believe her, then she change the names of the innocent. And all she really wants to be innocent too. All she really wants is it right one time, or another name in the story she tells, or another look in the eye when you see her. It's all she really wants. It's all she really wants. Velvet coat's always hanging from the chair there in the corner, and it's been mended, the lights down slow. She quotes poets, mostly from the 60s. Some of it is Ginsberg, but no one in here knows. And all she really wants someone to believe her, then she changing names of the innocent. And all she really wants to be innocent too. All she really wants is it right one time, for another name in the story she tells, for another look in the eyes when you see her. It's all she really wants. It's all she really wants.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
There you go. That was beautiful.
That's all
That
Kim
was
really
nice.
wanted.
That was really nice.
That
I
was
love
nice.
the tone of that guitar too.
What's that song about? Is this one about your wife? Or that's what you tell her, right?
That's
Of
you
course.
that never ask those questions.
No.
Because I am married and I always want to stay married now.
Well,
He kinda
Tyler,
likes
I'm on my
His wife?
second one, and
As
we
a-
want to make this last.
as an
Yeah.
artist yourself, you should know you never ask an artist about what a song is specifically about, right?
Yeah.
How about stay in your lane, bro? You let me be me, and I'll be.
It's your own interpretation.
No, like
Nicely
I say,
played.
I think most songs, some of them are really direct. Like I've written some songs that are really directly about either me and someone
Mhm.
or not. Other times it's something that I've pulled from multiple places. I could have
Yeah.
been somewhere, saw something, and that's what triggered it. And
Yeah.
maybe I pull a
Yeah.
memories that fit it,
Right.
start to fit that narrative, right?
Mhm.
And so there you go. That's how I'll answer that. People ask me all the time, "Who's that about? What's that about?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not gonna say.
That's a great
Yeah.
answer, and it saved your marriage. Well done.
There you go.
I'm sorry. No, I tend to do that a little. Sometimes I stir the pot, as it were.
A little.
Like seasons ago, we used to have random questions, and one of my questions was, if you had to take a bullet for one of your band members,
Oh.
which one would it be?
Oh God.
And it
Oh,
was just
man.
like, you never saw sweat come out of people's heads faster than this. It's just like, oh geez, this is how bands break up, dude.
Right?
You kidding? So-
Isn't it always the bass
Make for some
player?
interesting conversation. But anyway, it's a beautiful song, and I'm really glad that you picked up the guitar again.
Yeah.
Now, coming from being in a band or two bands for quite a long time, what really got you to kind of break out on your own as a solo artist?
Well, I mean, you alluded to it, and I've said that I'm on my second marriage now. But the when we all stopped, like kind of around that 2004
Yeah.
time, then you kind of bumble around at like, what the heck am I going to do? Once you've stood, like you're part of a family at that point.
Right.
Everything that you hear in your head when you're writing songs, you become reliant on that. Like I could always hear James playing guitar or Dean playing bass, or like when you're trying to
Yeah.
put things together. When that goes away, it's disorienting. And for me, it really was. And so I kind of bumbled around a little bit. Then I went into, going, getting divorced and going through all of that.
Mhm.
And when I decided to play again, my kids were old enough that I could, go out on a Friday night and have it not,
Right.
mess with them at all.
Yeah.
And that was important to me. And I just had it's just something that you kind of have to do. Like once you've done it, it's, if I've had a crappy day, I can go play guitar for an hour
Right.
and it
Yeah.
changes my whole
Yeah.
my whole mode.
Right?
And I think in this case, when you do two albums back to back the way I did,
Mhm.
or two records, the first one was an EP. When I decided to do, I let 10 or 12 years of things that were bubbling around in my head out on paper
Yeah.
really fast.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had a lot to say. So
Right. So then you just get back into it, and for me, it's an important thing. It's important as anybody who paints or writes or makes movies or a photographer or anything else. It's like that's what I do.
That's how you're wired.
Yep.
You know? Did Ragtag have any records out? That band sounds familiar. I grew up in Los Angeles on the Sunset Strip
No,
there.
we
No?
never did. We were, trying to get that elusive record deal back at the time when
Yeah.
like I said, we thought we were
A&M
the
or
shit.
bust.
then,
Right. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Wow. So you mentioned your previous EP, but I don't think we really talked much about it. This is the 1909 Miles. Nice. This was your first coming out as a solo artist, writing your own material. Were you like nervous at all, or?
I was nervous to go back into the studio. Like I reached out to Dave Catching that has Rancho de la Luna. That's where Queens recorded, some of their stuff, and that's how we got in there. Nick was through Dean and all got us hooked up there, and we went. So I reached out to Dave, and that is that's a big studio of great notoriety now for like that heavier sound, right?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't gonna work. And I like all of those guys, right? But someone said, "Oh, you got to meet Chris Unk." And so I went up to watch some friends play at one of the venues up there and walked over to his place. It was like that close. It was right in Joshua Tree in this funky little building. He opened the door and I kind of just immediately felt like at ease. I gave him some songs to listen to, and it just all felt comfortable. And when I got into the studio with him, immediately the trust factor was there.
There was a chemistry,
right? Like he knew where I was kind of missing, and he would step in and say, "Hey, I don't know about you, but this is what I would do," and it kind of got me into the rhythm of it. And then we just kind of kept that going, over time. So
yeah, so you started out with 6 tracks on this one,
and
then basically doubled your output for the next. Once you got your feet wet and you're a little more comfortable.
Yeah, we just kept it going and just said, let's just do a full, just kept recording. So
yeah. So all these tracks are available at rickshelley.com. Is that correct?
Rick Shelley Music.
rickshelleymusic.com.
Yeah.
So,
apparently there's a science fiction writer that's Rick Shelley that's more famous than I.
I was actually getting a lot of him there. No, wasn't Rick Shelley also a somebody in the military? I think he was like in the Navy SEALs or something like that. That came up a lot. But anyway,
interesting.
He'll have his time on the futon, pick up a guitar, other Rick Shelley, and
let's see you play guitar.
Yeah, F that guy. And Tom Brady too.
Oh, yeah. You went there, yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
It was all like
no, Rick Shelley was a military science fiction author. So you both were right.
It's all kind of
how the hell does that happen?
What an interesting person he must have been.
Yeah, bless the interweb.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I always tell people I'm a professional athlete. And if you look up there's a lot of Tyler Johnsons. Like, he used to play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. There was a basketball player for like the 76ers or something like that. And I was like, that's when I was really tall and tan.
Very tan. You got that pigment thing going.
Yeah. It's a skin condition, Kim. I don't like to talk about it.
Okay.
We digress.
We do.
So you come a long way. Anything in the works now? I mean, this is 2017. It's 2019 now, buddy. It's like ancient history
now. You playing out? What's going on?
So far this year, only right around springtime, I'll start playing again. The thing that's coming out, we did a High Lonesome. That studio is doing a concert series with U42. Official, they're a media content provider, and we did some concerts back in October, and there's kind of like small documentary style and video about 20 minutes long that's going to release any day now. So
where's that going to be?
Social media, you can just remember Rick Shelley Music on Facebook or
Shelley,
Instagram.
By the way, is spelled Shelley.
Thank you.
No problem.
And so all of the announcements and stuff like that, you can follow along with what I'm doing there. And then but that's the next thing. And then recording again. Right on. So I have lots of stuff. And what we're trying to figure out is, do I just release a song at a time? And then when that's all done, package it as a record?
Dare I ask?
Yeah.
Dare I
song
ask
and a video
that we close out this episode, not now, but in a little bit, with perhaps a new song?
A teaser, maybe?
A teaser?
It doesn't have to be the full song. If
we
you're
can
only working
fade
like
it
a
out.
chorus, maybe.
Sure.
All right. Because I could tell you're a little trepidatious.
No, I'm always kind of like, well, what song do I?
That's how I check. I'm like, he looks like he's thinking.
Well, I want to throw in a little bit on
I saw a light bulb and everything.
The question that you asked about, you don't know whether to release singles, that's kind of the new way. People are releasing singles more than anything else.
Singles
Full albums aren't being bought as often. And video options, like even if it's just you playing in the studio. Videos are huge right now. That's where
Mhm.
people are getting known.
Everyone's
better.
on YouTube.
Yeah,
They're
streaming.
Just,
Yep.
they're
Well,
streaming. Yep.
Yeah, and so through that, that's what we're gonna do at the
Yeah.
start of this
Wow.
year. So
Well, good.
Very nice.
That's
Well,
awesome.
good.
I just
Okay.
wanted to add my 2 cents, even though it's
Yeah,
not worth it.
too.
So those of you guys listening in right now, keep on listening.
Yeah.
We've got another Dusty debutant coming up here.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
We got to trademark that.
That was a good one.
Who else is going to use that?
I know,
Honestly,
I know, right? Debutant.
he's going to buy like
We'll
the
get
website
sued
and
for using
everything.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jesus. Yeah. Speaking of websites, dustyfuton.com.
Oh,
Subscribe,
wow.
listen for free, check out past episodes and stuff. Rick Shelley's going to be a present episode. You're listening to it now.
Hello.
Anything else we want to touch base on? John, you got any questions?
You got any questions?
Why the hell is my gear not working properly? Oh, wait, you mean for Rick? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just don't. But
wow,
Wow, that was just like
You're such a
straight
deep,
up.
No,
deep person, Big John.
I haven't
spots.
honestly. I
Two
feel
spots.
bad because I haven't really been focused because I was so discombobulated when you walked in the door trying to set shit up. But I do got to say though, I do love your music, man. That
Yes. Very talented.
would you classify yourself as a country artist or?
no, not really.
Because you have that country vibe to your music and your tone and the way you sing.
It's some. I'm classified as Americana.
Yeah.
So when you put me up against, in those awards, things like
Mhm.
that, when you put me up against just a straight country artist, people don't get it.
Yeah.
And I've been told
Yeah.
that
Which-
in Nashville that like, well, you're not country enough. Like that's not really who you are. Like
Nashville,
who are
they're
you?
purists over there.
Right,
In
So,
Nashville, they are, but yeah, country itself is a whole new effed up genre.
Right. And it was someone from high up in ASCAP, like when I was, just conversing, sending music back and forth. And it was like, well, we don't know where to put you. So that's, kind of it. So as it is, I just classify myself as a songwriter. So whatever I come up with, I'm going to run with that song, like a different sound, whether it's kind of country swing or something, more along the rock line or
I
not.
feel like
but
you're not
that's just
trying to
what I
really
do.
pigeonhole yourself into
Right.
sounding country. I think,
No,
you
I
came
just-
from a rock background. This
Yeah.
is just the kind of tone that you set for the message that you're trying to give.
Right. It's Americanas are like really what they put, but that encapsulates a lot. And now it's
Well, that's the beauty of Americana. To me, Americana is what country used to be before it evolved into what it is now, which is more pop country. Americana is all about storytelling,
right.
Mhm.
which is almost what singer-songwriter is, but
Yeah.
singer-songwriter is more literally just kind of emotional. You're not playing for the artist as much as you're playing, or you're not playing for the fan as much as you're playing for yourself. But Americana, you're telling stories to evoke emotions and in a different way that I personally believe.
Well, that's the great thing about coming and doing what we're doing here. Like I'm grateful you guys have had me out for an interview and to play and stuff, but it's to be able
This is
to
not
kinda-
an interview. It's a conversation.
it's a conversation, but
There you go.
it's to be able to kind of share a story of a song or where it kind of came from or those things. That's why I do it. When I started playing, people have asked once, I mean, to play is important for me,
Yeah.
but to share it
Mhm.
is the more important thing, whether you're playing for 10
Yeah.
people and I've never played for 10,000, but I'll use that phrase
Yet.
10 or 10,000.
Yet.
It's on the
It's being
horizon.
able to convey that story and share it. Right. And
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
it connect.
Yeah, and
Right.
every now and
That's
then it does. There's
Yeah.
there's that one person that really sits there and listens to what you're trying to say, and that connection
really
makes
nice.
the
It's
whole
usually
night
one.
worth it. Exactly.
It is.
The rest of the
It's
guys are just
usually
going,
that.
"You Freebird, play Freebird."
Work
It's you hear
out.
that spattering of applause from the back of the brewery somewhere or wherever
Uh-huh.
you're playing. It's usually that.
Right.
That gives you that tingle of like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it
I
really,
did it.
I hit
I
it.
feel like it really. I mean, for me, it only takes that one person. If it takes that, I've made.
Oh, I thought you were going to
difference.
say
One
it's that
person,
one
yeah.
tingle.
Well, one at a
One
time.
tingle.
It's one fan at a time, right?
Yeah. Hopefully after the show, because if it's before, I don't perform well.
No
you know?
tingles performing.
Yeah.
Well, you want to hear another song?
I think so. I think we're ready. Should we do this?
Was he going to
No,
close
we're
out
not.
live?
We're not closing out yet.
Well, okay.
You're trying
Wow,
to
this
kill
is
this
like-
episode
Oh.
early.
All right. Well,
Jesus.
okay then. All right. What song are we doing then? Big
think
John's
he's
gonna pick this
hungry.
one.
Well, I tell you what, I think, you guys alluded to the first record. So Walking with Ghosts is
Ooh.
one of the first songs that off that record that really connected
Okay.
with people, and so from 1909 Miles, Walking with Ghosts.
Okay, there we have it.
He did my job.
He did a great job at it too.
Yeah, I like that.
Sounded
Intro
better
by
doing
the
it.
artist.
Hey,
All we need is for him to say, "Here on the Dusty Futon."
well, we should.
You just did.
Oh yeah, my bad.
But Rick didn't sing it.
We said hello, but it was almost in passing. I could tell without even asking. She pulled me close just to say, she still looked like I had remembered. More tattoos and a little less tender. She tried to hide any signs of surrender, but
Just so you know,
that
at
was
least 10
just
minutes
a
left.
dead giveaway.
15.
Okay.
If you want.
Cause her eyes were distant, they were cold and dark, like she'd taken every blow. Each one landed on its mark, and she said, I don't go out now till long after dark. Walking with ghosts these days.
I love that bass drum kick. It just echoes right there. Boom. And it's like only every other measure.
It's
Only percussion you need.
yeah, it is a
just before
an old
closing.
marching band bass drum.
Ooh.
I thought I recognized. I played one in high school.
That's
Right.
so cool.
It is
The vibration of those heads are so different.
what is like a 36 or something like that. It's
Yeah.
huge, and it's and I can't remember the count, but it's like every 8 or every 16 or something like that, and it was
Yeah, it's 3, 4,
And I
5,
stood- yeah.
6, 7, 8.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
you
every
stood there
two
with a
measures.
mallet doing that. So.
You did that?
Yeah,
Oh, dude, that's perfect timing.
He did
Was
the
that your
drums.
idea or the producer's?
that was Chris's
Yeah.
because it's Chris's bass drum too. He's like, oh, you got to do this. So
That's awesome.
Landed on its mark, and she said, I don't go out now till long after dark. Walking with ghosts these days.
Let's break this one down for us a little bit. Walking with ghosts.
Mhm.
Is that like
You want to listen to the rest of the song first?
Took you down.
okay?
Disappear without a sound. Who's leading this thing?
I
thought I was.
Oh, he keeps wanting to talk over the music.
Eyes were distant, they were cold and dark, like she'd taken every blow.
Maybe a new year, but we're not
Landed
changing the
on
format
its
that
mark,
much.
And she said, I don't go out now till long after dark. Walking with ghosts these days. Cause her eyes were distant, they were cold and dark, like she'd taken every blow. Each one landed on its mark, and she said, I don't go out now till long after dark. Walking with ghosts these days.
Oh, good. I got the green light. Talk now. Sweet.
I need to get like that red and green light thing they have in gyms.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Stop.
Don't you have like the power to just turn my microphone off or something over there?
Yeah.
Bonus song.
Right on.
Getting
Love
up.
it. That song made me feel sad. Like, wow, somebody was really lonely.
Go ahead, Tyler.
All right. So I think we can talk about this one now. We finally got that.
Funny guy.
What's wrong
over
with
there.
your
Funny
equipment,
guy
Big
over there.
John?
Nothing. The good thing is that was only muted on our ears.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't.
Now,
you
so
know,
we're
it'll
all
still
good.
be. Whatever. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, rewind.
The hijinks.
Yes. It's always.
That way, it's
Oh.
not just a. So, tell
No.
me about your last album, there, Rick Shelley.
No. So
No.
actually, no, let's do that. We are going to
Yeah.
talk about
Okay.
your last album here. So first, let's go back to what I was talking about earlier. Walking with Ghosts, the title of the song, the message. What is
Right.
that about, really?
So when I was going to go back out and start playing, there was a little bar called Schmitty's in
Gotta love
Palm Desert,
Schmitty's,
right?
I
So
love Palm Desert.
Dennis and Kathleen Ford had that place. Great bar. It's not there anymore. Very disappointing for the musical community out there. But I'd gone out to just kind of immerse myself back into that scene.
Yeah.
And just to watch music. And I ran into somebody I knew and just saw the impact of life after not seeing them for a while, you know.
And they went down that road and you're glad you didn't.
Well, and then you start to see, like, sometimes you don't see people until it's later.
Yeah.
Until it's like you don't see people in the daylight that, you know, some people, and especially in the music and art world, some, you know,
So true.
there's a lot of pale people that roam around, you know.
I feel like you looked at me when you said that.
So,
well, you know,
Vampires.
but it was mostly about that, coming into contact with somebody I hadn't seen in a while, and something that they said just stuck with me, and so I wrote that song. So
interesting. That was a cool song.
I love it.
Another cool one.
Do you play the other instruments like the bass and everything else too on there? Or?
On some, Chris played on a lot of those songs. It was constructed with Chris Unk playing some of it and me playing some of it, and a friend of mine, Brian, plays drums on some of the first record. But they were constructed just kind of over time. Like I'd lay down the first track and we'd go back, which is a fun way to make a record, but it's also pretty restrictive. So when we do the next ones, like Tyler Soraka, the drummer that I work with now, and Damian Lester, the bass player, stand-up bass player, fantastic. And Chris, us working more in that live situation, which allows for space. Sometimes after you've laid down that initial track, you're stuck kind of in that realm.
You didn't give any that,
right. And so whatever room you've left, either you've left not enough room for a fiddle player to come in, or too much room, and they're like, holy smokes, right? And so there's been good and bad in that, but yeah, I play some bass on stuff, some, you know, electric guitar and stuff. Other parts of it are Chris, and a lot of it was him and I doing stuff. But
Cool.
But when you get down to like pedal steel on Highway 99, that was Matt Penn that did that pedal steel from him. And he's out with lots of times with Nikki Lane, and she's big time country. So
good for him. That's awesome.
How about the name of the album? 1909 Miles. That's a pretty specific number. I
really
feel like, is that from Walla Walla to La Quinta?
No, actually, but it is actually very directional. So I met a writer, fantastic writer. So other listeners, if you don't know who this guy is, look him up. His name's Travis Meadows, and he's a songwriter out of Nashville. And just really in the recent years, more public know about him. But I got to meet him a couple of years ago and play with him a few times. And so, which got me thinking Nashville, you know, and so I just put it in Google, like how, you know, Google Maps, like how far is it from to the Bluebird Cafe is 1909 miles.
Oh, okay. So it is a specific marker to marker.
Right. And it's a dream about the distance of where I would love to be.
Right.
And where I am. And so.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's
Getting
cool.
deep.
Yeah. There you go. Well, you got way more metaphorical than I thought it was going to be.
You got to name a record something, and that was a good name. So.
It's not just literal. It's literal and metaphorical.
That's right. And numerical.
And digital.
Now, but it's also,
chronicle.
I got to wonder, like, is it one of those things, because you put numbers on there. So when somebody comes up and says, I love your album, 1,909 miles. Like, no! It's 1,909 miles. Get it right.
But no, we've never had an exchange like that. I don't think any of the times. Most people ask what it's about, and I tell them.
That's cool.
There's no arguing
right now, and we're the last to find out.
I know. I know. Jeez.
So living up there in La Quinta near Coachella.
What brought you to La Quinta from Walla Walla, Washington?
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's
ask that.
Well, I went to.
First.
I mean, we went to LA. We came to the desert.
That's right,
it's the only place you can afford.
I was gonna say. I can see it.
That's it. So, but yeah, just back and forth between LA. It was small enough. I'm not a big city kind of person, and LA is not really big city, but it's really crowded. And so
that's why it's crowded. It's not very big.
They keep trying to find places.
I mean, it's different than New York. Like if you go like East Coast, big city compared to
right.
Los Angeles just never ends. It just
keeps
spreads out, and there's it's just crowded. So I like the desert because it's not.
It ends in La Brea.
La Brea.
It ends at La
tar
Brea.
pits. Yeah,
because there's Well, and
you're close enough to get back and forth to LA too.
Yeah, I'm close enough and far enough.
You're right.
Are you pretty
Perfect
near the
combination.
Coachella Polo Grounds where they have the fest?
Yes, I am.
And do you hate it when it comes around your neighborhood? And
No, not really.
Really?
No, like I mean, going to stage, like obviously I like Stagecoach more than I like Coachella. It's just the style of music or whatever. But it's I'm glad they did it. I mean, I'm
That's
glad
cool.
that they continue to bring in music and
sure, pump some money.
What's your
Right.
take
local
on
economy?
what's your
Yeah.
take on old Cella?
once again, like it, I'm happy that artists can continue on, and there's I mean,
Yeah.
there's an audience for it.
We need them so
what-
bad.
Well, like Neil Young's crazy good. Like there's just you can't take that away. Bob Dylan is still great. And so like
Just so you know, those are subjective statements. So we'll leave it at that.
it's, right.
Very-
So but for
Talented,
me,
very talented.
Well, Bob Dylan doesn't
Right.
seem to think that he's so great. He doesn't want to even accept awards, in his name. But anyway,
but no, I
so,
love it.
yeah.
And so as much music, Paul McCartney,
Mhm.
like, and then he went up and played at Pappy's. So that was Pappy
Oh my
and Harris.
gosh,
So it was
really?
like, yeah, that was,
That
He's
must have
coming
been- Did
back.
you go?
He's coming back to San Diego.
no, but Chris got to see it.
Really?
So-
That must have been insane.
Yeah.
Man, what a
Once
story
once
to
I
tell.
found out it was already too
It's too
late,
late.
which was like, hey, it was announced. It was already too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah.
That kind of like that. Yeah, for
There's
sure.
only so many people who can pack into that place. So
No kidding.
You ever tried to get on the bill over at Coachella, like being so close, or is it
You
just
should
not
be.
that demographic that you really?
no, well, not Coachella, but for
Stagecoach?
Stagecoach. And I was really lucky last year to do. I almost made it inside, but I played. I
It's like
played.
me when I go to any show.
Yeah, there was Rebel Road Productions, which is a really promotes women in country music, and I have some friends that run that. They had a stage and by these old campers,
Okay.
and so right where RV camping is, when you go into the festival, they had a thing that was there, and people were coming and playing like these small pop-ups. So
Oh, awesome.
I got to
Nice.
do
Oh,
that
that's
last year,
cool.
which is really cool, and I was really grateful that they
Hell
had me come do that.
Yeah, that's
I
rad.
love
So-
those. The sideshows are usually where you find the best stuff. The
Mhm.
local,
The hidden
gritty,
gems,
good
yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as an artist, anytime you get to play in front of people who you don't play in front of all the time,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
new
these people are coming from
Yeah.
all around the country and even internationally,
Yeah.
some of them.
Yeah, that's like the San Diego Fair. It's free. I mean, they don't pay you to play, but you get that exposure of thousands of people walking by you at the day you're playing.
Mhm.
Well, it's just being part of a music event.
Well, that
So,
too. That
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, not all
It's a
about
huge-
exposure.
I'm
It's a
sitting here
huge
going
music
like,
event.
this is just like me going outside Comic-Con wearing my Obi-Wan get-up. And I'm
Oh
like,
my gosh.
no, that's not the same thing. I'm just a loser. That's all.
No.
I just have nothing better to do with my time.
Well, that's true.
That's why
You're
we have a
here.
podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm thinking our 10 minutes is probably getting pretty slim now. And it
No.
Yeah.
Kim's like, no.
I want to hear more. He's a
Hold
very
on,
interesting
I want to
person.
talk. Yeah. He's bald
So
and
how's-
smart and he's cute. And I like it.
So I take it your W-2 supports your musical aspirations.
Say that one more time.
W-2. That's not a tax term.
It's-
It means wifey too.
Wife number 2.
Oh,
Oh, I have
Yeah.
number 2.
It's
yeah,
tax
no,
season
It
right now,
is.
Kim. You gotta be
gotta be
pay
thinking about my
I
attention.
know.
Right
I'm
on,
like,
though.
am I going to go through an audit now? This is like one of the strangest conversations I know.
That's spicy for you.
There you go.
It happens. It happens.
So yeah, she's supportive of the music thing, and I think everyone is supportive and gets irritated. Even my
yeah.
Yeah.
my kids, when
Yeah.
I'm playing stuff, I'll bring songs back in and play it. My daughter was really super supportive when it got started, and then after a while she's like, God, Dad, quit bringing stuff in. So I think they all are, but it's I always say she has a high tolerance for
Oh,
all
there
my
you go.
crap.
That's awesome.
That's a good way.
That
to
is a
put
damn
it.
good wife. You don't
That's a
get rid of that
prerequisite,
one.
Yeah.
No.
Are your children musical at all?
Yeah, my son is. Well, they're all talented in different ways. So my son is an incredible musician, drummer, guitar player,
nice.
fantastic. My middle daughter is in drama and set
Nice.
design, and
Cool.
my
Nice.
youngest,
Talented.
yeah,
what
my
I did.
youngest
I
is
I wasn't pretty enough or could sing well enough to be on the stage, so they just threw some black on me and stuck me in the back. I love what she's doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and then my youngest daughter draws like fantastic.
Oh my God, the trifecta. You got like
There
the
you go.
arts all
encompassed there with your children. That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Must be one proud papa.
I certainly am.
Nice. Nice.
Does
You
your
see the
son?
gleam in his eye as
Yeah.
he talks
Right.
about him.
You always know, like, as soon as like you start bringing up their kids, you see these parents that light up and they're like, oh yes, this is the only joy I have left in my life. The rest is it's all work.
Well, luckily for
Well, you
Rick
know.
Shelley, he's got a lot of joy in his
Well,
life,
and I do,
including
and
his kids.
And then
Uh-huh.
with my second wife now together, we have 5 kids. So
Oh, awesome.
and all of them good. And
That's the gleam. It's when you're good. Your
Yeah.
kids
Well,
get brought
it's-
up and they're
it's-
good kids, and you're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can talk about it.
well, music can fade away, but they're
Right.
probably the most important thing that I've ever done. So.
You thought about bringing your son in on a couple of tracks,
Yeah.
maybe? Has
Yeah,
he?
he and I will play around at the house when we have time. Obviously, we don't. Our paths aren't always in the same place at the same time. So he was up when we were doing the recording for the documentary, and when I go to record again at some point, like he'll do something on this next one. So
Nice.
for sure.
That's cool.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Now it's time. Let's do
That
this.
time has come.
It's time to do the debut, Ton. Are you ready? Do you have a song in mind that you'd like to play for us? One that those who frequent your website haven't necessarily heard.
Ooh, drop D.
Ooh, I love drop D.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about to play some heavy metals.
Just a little too late there.
Paint you pretty, paint you kind, paint you over most of the time. A different shade, a different hue. I could paint you red, well you know that I do. If I could, I'd paint this town different color, different sound. Paint it up, I'd paint it down, paint it all the way around. Paint you honest, paint it true. Heart still painted blue. Heart still painted blue. Wouldn't use no black, wouldn't use no white. Just a little bit of day and a little bit of night. Paint the stars like the shined up shoe. And every day, well, I'm painting new. If I could, I'd paint this town different color, different sound. Paint it up, I'd paint it down, paint it all the way around. Paint it honest, paint it true. Heart still painted blue. Heart still painted blue. Paint up empty till it was full. The color so bright, well it never go dull. House with a window, room with a view. And every little picture, well I paint with you. If I could, I'd paint this town different color, different sound. Paint it up, I'd paint it down, paint it all the way around. I'd paint it honest, paint it true. The heart still painted blue. Heart still painted blue. If I could, I'd paint this town different color, different sound. Paint it up, I'd paint it down, paint it all the way around. Paint it honest, paint it true. Heart still painted blue. Heart still painted blue.
I love it.
Rick Shelley, everybody, on the futon. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Thank you,
showing
guys.
us what you do and giving us that little treat. By the way, I don't think we got the name of that one, did we?
Paint it.
And that hasn't
Blue?
been recorded yet.
Heart Still Painted Blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought I
Nice.
caught that, but I just wanted to be sure. You never know.
And that's a new song. You haven't released that yet.
Haven't released that one yet.
So
Ah,
this is
something
coming
to
out
look
on
forward
the
to.
album called Question Mark.
That's the working
We don't
title.
know yet.
Now you've pigeonholed me into naming it.
No, the name of the album is 1910.
Just
One more
outside-
mile than the first one.
It was like the
moving me
next-
away.
It's that extra mile.
A little further from Nashville. Okay.
Just about a couple of blocks.
Well, you're not country enough for Nashville.
we thought we liked him, but could you move him just a mile further?
Yeah, just
Exactly.
switch over there now.
So anyway, I thank you, but I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing your
Yes.
stories and your music, your message with us. Where can people see you coming up in the future? And first, before you answer, when is this going to air?
Well, what's your website? again?
Probably the second weekend of February, second Friday of February. maybe?
Okay, so anything like at late February or March.
What I always say is follow along on the website,
Mhm.
rickshelleymusic.com, or on social media, Instagram for that, Rick Shelley Music. And
I'm hoping to avoid that. But
and tour
That was the
dates and
doorbell.
things like that, or show dates will be up on there. So
Okay, cool.
like I said, it won't be up until spring, but they can follow along and get to see the documentary stuff that's coming out.
Interesting.
And
Nice.
like I said, that'll like another couple weeks that'll be out. So just follow
Awesome.
along with that.
There you go.
rickshelleymusic.com.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
RickShelleyMusic.com, DustyFuton.com. Thanks again for coming out here today.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me.
all right, that's it.
All right, cut.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. That was fun. Gosh,
Good.
I'm gonna go buy some music, man.
That's what this thing is for, huh?
Yeah.
Is that what
you
they call it?
Trying to kill it like 20 minutes early.
I don't know. I think I was just going by feel.
We're good. That's why I love this board here. As long as it's
I felt like maybe we were moving faster because we had done 2 songs so early. Maybe that's what it was.
we didn't get to the second song until like 25 minutes in anyway.
Yeah, okay.
So just like seriously, just focus on your watch for timing, unless you want me to give you cues. Because like run it however you want. Just like seriously.
How about this? Okay, I will give it.
Okay.
Some DJ
There's a simple answer to this.
Bassassin. Bassassin. You were right. And what's your name?
Tyler.
Tyler. That's right. I
That's
forgot.
my name too.
Oh, I'm gonna make it
Really
confused. You can't do this to me.
Yes. 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 Where are my keys? Here we go. Do you have pineapple? Yes.
You go. All right. You want to set up your? I don't. Let's see. Actually.
Well, the problem is
Nobody's touched any of the order.
with YouTube, with DJ sets,
They
they
both have
often
to feed
either
their cats.
mute it or they unmonetize DJ sets. And I got concerned about what you guys felt about that.
Well, okay. I don't care about YouTube, Facebooks, or any of that shit. Do you own whatever you're playing? All of what you're using?
But I purchased it.
Yeah, you have rights to use it all. Is what I mean.
Yeah,
You have.
and I don't have the full versions of the.
Right.
songs.
You have rights to use everything you play.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. As long as because your rights extend to me based off of the song. And that's all I want is permission to play the music. So
Do you monetize your YouTube?
nope, I don't want to have shit from the podcast. Podcast is free. It's going to be free to listen to and free for musicians. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love swag.
How's it going? Hey there, man. John. Hey, John. Tyler, nice to meet you.
That's
Oh, yeah.
I'm nice to meet you.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that
I
goes
need
to
to-
this
those
girl.
are going right in the
Yeah, those
car.
go right to her.
I love it. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you shake your hand real quick, man. I didn't get to that. Pleasure to meet you.
It was really nice to meet you guys and stay
Yeah. Heck yeah.
For sure.
Well, I'm bad at contacting people. So
No, keep in touch. I got
yeah,
your email
it's
now.
much
Reach
better
out.
when people hit me up.
Los Angeles is going to be really up again in like 2 weeks.
All right.
So how do you want to set up?
So are you?
I didn't bring a speaker. I have the mixer.
Well, did you get my email?
That's
No, it-
Plug right in.
small or
All right.
You have a quarter-inch house.
so that has the. Do you like Phoenix or do you like
RCAs?
Unless you have,
I can bring it and figure this out.
No, I
Well, I
don't.
thought you
These are
actually.
cool.
Well, let's go with just the stuff you gave me. Then.
Thanks, Rick.
Did you give me music?
It's really nice
I
to
sent
meet
it through
you.
email.
Yeah.
A lot.
Three songs you said. Let's just go with those.
Okay. Look,
We'll just do
do you
one.
want me to do like a DJ
They
set?
put him in alternative. He's like this.
I mean,
Or I was just concerned about.
You know, and when
Yeah,
you
no,
said
I
that
didn't realize you didn't
to
monetize.
the art
So I was
people,
like,
they're like,
yeah.
I
I didn't know that. I was like,
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Let's,
I think that's probably you. That's a medium. They're good.
Well, this is a medium. I actually wear large, but if you, I know larges are like
trying to think
the best
way to
selling
run it.
size.
Well, they
Don't
run
have
big. Like if
quarter
you look
inch.
at it, it's a pretty good size
RCA
medium.
or any of
Yeah,
that.
that's a good size.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, let's
This
just
feels
run
this
with
looks like a
the
large.
music.
So yeah.
Gold. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
auxiliary.
Yeah.
This is all mono, pretty much.
You gave me a shirt, you're gonna see what I'm
nothing
making.
but mono.
Basically,
I have quarter inch and XLR. That's all I've got. And they're all mono.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me. So it's nice to get
XLR and mono.
You know what?
picked to do some of it. So.
Let's just keep it
I'm
simple.
actually gonna change the end of that one.
Okay, yeah.
We'll
When
just
you
spend
guys,
most of the time
whenever it's
talking.
coming or if
Okay.
you can
And we'll talk about
announce
your
it.
DJ says, we'll just talk about everything. So,
I'll try and get
and it's pretty much going to be me talking. You didn't do any prep on me.
Neither
Neither did I, so we're just gonna have a good conversation.
Hey, I didn't do prep on you guys either. I didn't do prep on you guys either. So
Perfect. I have a seat right there. And Kim,
Well,
Yes,
the
sir.
white your guys' hair because I know you got someone
Oh, no.
right there. So
yeah, take your time, man.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
We don't have anybody after him, so we're kind of we have air in our whatever. I don't know.
Easy for you to say,
That's-
Big John, right?
that explained it all.
Yeah.
We have air.
We have air. We have space.
We have
That's the word.
space, you know?
Space. That's the word.
Space.
maybe we could schedule another time where we can come in and
Possible.
do it as a live set.
Sure, we could figure something like that out. Hell, we might even put together a show.
And what did you say? What did you want me to do?
This microphone positioning. When
I
you're
was.
talking,
Oh, I was too much.
you were too far off of the mic a lot of the time. So
Okay. Yeah, I was in a
you
weird
might
spot.
really get turned, yeah.
Okay. I was sitting on.
Sure.
Like still?
I like to get stoned. Oh, you meant the beer brand. Yeah. Sure.
We'll have to incorporate that in the show.
Double IPA. Now that I'm gonna have to pass on. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to pass on. I'm not a hoppy guy.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
you're out of luck.
That's why I'm not a big fan of Stone Brewery anyway. Rick, are you taking off?
Yeah.
Thanks again, man. Thanks again for everything.
Thank you guys. Thank you for the cookie.
Oh, hell yeah. It was a pleasure. You're good. You're good to talk to, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, these
Have fun.
I tell you, we will. Hey, Tyler's gonna be good. He'll love it. And you like IPAs, don't you?
I can drink like one and then I'm done.
Yeah, these are double IPAs.
So even more.
I didn't have, yeah.
Where did Tyler go?
You could probably have
Oh.
this.
Outside. Went out there.
Yeah, he went to
All
smart.
right. Thank you guys.
Thanks so much, Preston.
What?
I'll go to join you.
These ones are double IPAs. So that one was 7. This is 8.5.
I know, that's what I'm like, I drink freaking Coors Light.
Oh, see.
I drink like the
I mean,
weakest one that you can imagine.
Same here.
she likes shock top and like
Yeah, I do.
A little slice of
orange.
Yeah, those are good. But I've been drinking the other one. I'm embarrassed to even say it.
or something like that.
Was it O'Doul's?
No, those I just because I'm nursing right now, so I can only.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so awesome. So where's the baby?
She's at home.
She's with the grandma and grandfather right now.
She just turned 6 months yesterday. So.
Congratulations, that's so rad. Oh my God. This is amazing. You're like,
Yeah.
little person, okay.
She already has her personality and everything. So
Yeah,
yeah.
she loves like touching our phones and iPads and stuff. Like,
Not good, but.
She'll be on that. She's like, two.
Oh,
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
I know. My little niece was like 2 and she had her own. My sister and brother were like, she's on her shit, you know, like. Oh my God.
we watched Mickey Mouse this morning and she was like,
Oh my God.
She's starting to pay attention to things.
That is cool.
Oh, and what's your favorite band?
oh, favorite Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I love this kid. I got me there.
Love the meter, yeah.
Do the handful.
Yeah, she loves watching me play air guitar at Iron Maiden.
Oh, bitch,
Like,
that's so
like,
cute.
I'll put on Kiss or ACDC and it's like all air guitar. She's like, oh, whatever, but it's Iron Maiden. She's like,
She does
Yes,
that.
and ACDC are good too. What the hell?
yeah, she's very selective.
Wow. Well, girl knows what she likes, and that's a good thing.
Oh yeah, she does. Yeah.
For sure, for sure.
learning that we go.
That's what it says. Like, oh, you guys are just practicing.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. We went from, doing whatever we wanted.
Is that weird? At first, so like you're like, what is your? I'm like, how is it turning to someone else? How we nachos with a baby? Like, how's something gonna happen?
Like, oh, this DJ was Spanish play tonight. What was the answer? Like,
Yeah, good.
are we gonna die if we don't to them? Kind of, but like.
It's true. It's a totally different lifestyle.
Yeah.
So we go out, but when he plays.
Yeah, now we like,
Like last night,
yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where did you play out?
The Moxie.
Oh, really?
Like their regular Friday. Yeah.
It's brand new. It's like a very hipster kind of modern house.
It's very well.
Very millennial.
Millennial hotel.
Yeah, Moxie. The Moxie. Yeah.
I'm not paying for it.
Fine then.
So Tyler meet Tyler. Tyler meet Tyler.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use the restroom before we get
Pardon
fired.
me, Jeff?
started.
I always like meeting people named Tyler because I never really grew up with them. I feel like it was a name that when I was a kid, there was nobody else really named Tyler. And then all of a sudden, somewhere in the 90s, every other kid was named Tyler. So when I had a job at Legoland, I worked there 3 times, it got really confusing for me. Because I'm not used to anybody saying my name. So when I did, obviously, they were talking to me. And then I'm sitting, every other kid, just like that, is Tyler. Tyler! And I'm just like,
Oh my
the bigger
God.
cat. What? Huh? Who's calling me? Looking for my mom or something like that. Fuck, she's spying on me at work. But yeah. So Tyler, it's the best name.
There was always like one other kid in my class. I brought up Tyler, but there was just the one guy. It was just me and him. And that was it.
And how much do you hate it when people call you Taylor?
My mom calls him.
It's actually every Mexican ever.
Yes, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it always it's whenever I go to
I heard a racist thing.
Heard it wrong.
I just heard a
My
racist
wife
thing.
and my baby are Mexican. I can say this.
it's not like a racist thing. It's not like a
Wait,
hateful thing. It's
Your
just
wife
something
was
that comes up
Mexican,
with a dialect because he's right. And
I was
everybody
the one
who's Hispanic and they
My
have
baby's
a
like more Mexican than I am.
Taylor. Hey, Taylor.
My baby is actually more Mexican than my own father.
Now you keep trying to over enunciate the name.
My dad's half.
Now,
And I'm a quarter. And so my baby's like 2/3.
Everybody else has a
I'm like 66%. She's more Mexican than her own grandfather. It's crazy.
All right, let's start getting some of this stupid shit on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tyler, you interested in some beer?
Oh, yeah, he did mention something about that, and yes,
He hopped in.
yes,
for hops.
all the yes. I am.
All the yes.
I am
All
a
right.
fan of craft beer too. So
It's a
God bless.
double IPA.
The Ruination, I'm familiar.
DT right there, girl.
I like these guys. Oh, and it's unfiltered.
Kind of like us.
Yeah, it's perfect for this episode. Absolutely.
Very much like us. All right, we got a set of headphones right behind you. Are we live? We are live. We're always live. Well, once we
I
start.
love my creepy jigsaw voice. Like, do you want to play a game?
Do you want to play a game? Can you do full ears?
Jim, can I turn this down to like?
Do you want to do full ears? Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, this is just a habit to put my ear to.
Yeah, because you're a DJ. Yeah.
You want me to turn it on?
And then last thing, grab the microphone too.
Can we?
You know what? Go ahead and move to this chair instead. Move to the other chair. And
Definitely.
That's exactly why.
Before we leave, too, we want to get like a straight-on picture of him wearing his headphones.
Yeah.
While wearing his hat that has headphones on it.
Well, he's doing that right now.
That looks like my thing.
Yeah, I love it. It's
Kinda.
great.
Must
I
be.
got it at 7-Eleven like years ago.
That's awesome.
And
Well, hold on. We want to get that story on mic.
Yeah.
Let's hold off on that story. Go ahead and get your headphones on. Get that microphone set up to you. And
oh, no, don't twist it. You'll hurt your hand.
just use your teeth.
Man, talk about
He's got it.
prepared.
He's getting it. He's got it.
Got a beer opener. Nice. Thank you.
Coors Light surfboard bottle opener.
Betchin'.
What the hell?
Who saw that coming? No one.
What?
Said who saw that coming?
I didn't see anything.
Bottle opener surfboard.
Oh, get on the
Ooh.
Bottle opener.
I'm not going to use my teeth. They are fucked up enough as it is. I do not need any more.
But you smile so much.
Hello. Check.
All right. I think we got you.
Level's good.
We have a DJ. I'm hoping he knows how to use a microphone.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you want me to host this one? Since
Bassassin?
Why
don't
don't you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna be the annoying witty banter. In the
So you're gonna be
background.
me,
Okay.
and I'm
I
gonna
am.
be you.
He's the Baba
Yes,
Booey of the show, I
exactly.
guess.
Oh wow! I want to be
Already-
high.
they're already-
I wanna
already
be
laying, already
high-pitch
laying.
Eric. I want to
Oh.
be high pitch Eric. Oh my
Who's
goodness.
that? High pitch.
You guys never
Stuttering,
watched,
Stuttering Gary.
yeah.
Eric the retard.
Wow.
Right.
Howard Stern is a class
Hold on.
act.
Beetlejuice.
All right?
He is.
You know, yeah.
He is. I'm having some trouble, some technical difficulties. I can't keep it up.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun episode. I can tell. Oh, you know what? How I know? Because you've got Easy E socks, man. Those things are
Easy
badass.
motherfucking E.
Fuck yeah, look at that.
Here we go.
Real motherfucking G's.
Straight out
Nice.
of Compton.
How many G's did that
Straight
cost?
out of Sock Factory.
You know what? Let's go ahead and just start this episode.
Yeah.
Since we kind of
Yeah.
did.
Who we
Yeah.
talking to? Who are you? What's your name? Yourself.
Bassassin?
DJ Bassassin.
I kept calling you Bassassin. I don't know why.
Oh,
What the hell?
Hey.
I
Where
don't know.
did it
Play with
go?
that. Oh shit! All of our cables are jacked now.
All of our
They're
cables are
jacked.
jacked.
There we go. Awesome.
I
Yeah,
have
one
to
of the
do
worst
some
one I've done.
surgery
DJ
later.
Bassassin. Okay, that's not the name that your mother gave you. I'm pretty sure.
No, and it's also not the worst one I've been called.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Nice.
Let's
Nice.
try
So,
and get you as direct on the microphone as possible.
How's this?
That's perfect.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, later.
DJ Bassassin.
All
I love
right.
to play the little double entendre.
Yeah, mashing two words together. Yeah, it's a mashup.
mashup. It's a mashup.
Ah!
That's what DJs do the best.
There you
So
go.
was that the reason you came up with the name, or where's your name come from specifically?
Yeah, I was in a group chat.
You with bass.
Yeah, assassinate with the bass. I've blown out speakers. I've had the cops called on my parties before because of how much bass I use.
Oh wow.
No, it's because having a good time is against the law. Apparently, in some
it
neighborhoods,
is.
And Encinitas it is. You can't dance and you can't have more than 5 musicians on a stage.
you
got
got to take the power back
Or smoke
and you're
cigarettes
doing-
like in the city, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just overturned the dance
That's-
thing, but it's going to take like a year before
Of course.
people can get their
the
licenses.
footloose law.
Uh-huh. Damn that.
There's
Footloose.
tons of those in California. So,
Dang.
so how
Just
old are
tax
you?
it.
How old are
California.
you?
I am 30.
You're 30.
Yeah.
How long have you been DJing?
8 years.
Because I swear to
that's
God, you
some
walked
time.
in the door. I thought you were like 24.
I was going 19.
That's what the DJ life does to you, bro. It keeps you young. You know.
Oh, man.
Staying out till 4 in the morning keeps you young.
I'm hanging out. I'm hanging in the wrong club.
Didn't work for me.
to say.
Uh-uh.
How does that happen?
You guys are doing the wrong drugs.
Yeah.
Is there a wrong joke?
Meth.
Yeah, that's wrong.
That's a wrong drug.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now ecstasy. That's a
Yeah.
right drug.
Mm. And cocaine.
so
cocaine
anyway,
is
I want
one
to
hell
take
of a
whatever
drug.
I want to take whatever Neo took, like at the beginning of the Matrix. You know, something that took him out of the false reality. Anyway,
I took both.
I'm pretty. Yeah.
No.
Take
So
the
wait,
red
That's
pill.
funny.
No,
Hold
I'm
on.
Are you
both.
wasted?
We had this very discussion on like the second episode of the Dusty Futon. It's so funny that you said
Oh
that.
my God.
we,
yeah.
we had like what happens if he did take both? Because like one he was going home, one he actually went to the Matrix, which he did. So if he took both, what the fuck was gonna happen?
He'd forget he went to the Matrix.
Yeah, you just trip balls. But anyway,
Well, that would suck.
So are you hosting this or me? Because I haven't
I
said
don't
but
know.
like
No.
2 words.
no, what? See, I'm doing what you do and just stepping all over
Yep.
everything that you say. So
And not letting me speak at all.
Hey, it's a party.
I warned you.
I know.
All right. Here we go. This is what I'm gonna do.
5 minutes into the episode and nothing
Mason-
has been said except for what is his name?
I want to hear Basin's story about
mouth.
his hat because he is wearing headphones when he has a hat on that has headphones on it, and I think that is totally rad. How did that come about?
Your hat.
I got it at 7-Eleven.
Okay, hold on. This is why I want you to have the headphones on completely. I know you're used to having it,
Gosh.
so that way
I
you
don't know,
can
that's
hear.
like so foreign to me. Oh,
That way you can hear what we hear.
oh, there's so much reverb in here now.
Reverb?
I can hear it.
Reverb?
I
What do
can
you
hear-
mean? What do
I
you
can
mean?
hear
What do you mean? I
everything.
don't know what you're talking about.
Whoa.
Talk about. No, I just want to make sure that you can hear yourself on the microphone rather than music, because I know you're used to listening to the levels of the music and the club and how things bounce.
Yeah, I
but
got to hear the monitors and the music.
yeah,
I hear
here,
two different songs
Um,
at the same time.
yeah, not in here, buddy, not in here. We just want to make sure
We're
that
focused.
Just two different hosts at the same time.
keep that thing away from your mouth, Tyler. That way I don't have to keep fiddling with levels, and that way I don't have to worry
Oh, I
about
see.
you
Okay.
popping it.
I'll
or
make it
anything.
easier on you.
There you go. I think we have another smart ass in the room. I didn't think we could fit another one, but
Well, his name is Tyler. You know,
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get anything related to the music industry out of this
Nope.
episode.
Just 60 minutes of
Taylor?
this. You're welcome, America.
All right. So you started this at 22.
what was the
Yeah.
how did that happen?
I started out making music and DJing when I was living in my parents' garage.
Okay.
Were they really supportive?
And that's it.
And that's it.
Okay.
I went from living in a garage to DJing at clubs.
So now, when
and-
you started out, then did you have like your own pretty much setup, or were you using like your parents' records? Were they supportive of this? Were you like scratching some, you know, Peter, Paul, and Mary to? You know,
No, I had a controller.
Lemon
And-
tree. Lemon tree. Tastes so sweet.
It was all digital, no records. I have used vinyl maybe twice in my life, and
Yeah.
it was difficult, and I'll go back to it one day, but not for now.
so no Grandmaster Flash scratching your, you know.
Yeah, no Run DMC. I can scratch.
What
I can
is
scratch on my
that?
turntables, on my
Yeah.
CDJs,
A CD
but not on a
player.
vinyl.
CDJ, I like
CDJ.
that.
In vinyl mode.
The debut time.
I know what you're talking about, though. So
They look
when
like
I go into Guitar Center and I play
Yeah.
around like an 8-year-old kid on everything, and they're like, "Don't touch that." They have those things where you just pop in the CD, and it's like this little mini turntable, and
Yeah.
it does exactly like what it was, except it doesn't damage the hell out of your merchandise. So,
Wow.
but
Yeah,
it's
those
pretty-
things are awesome. They're good. Like I used to dream that I could use those.
So, let me kind of come in here and ask a question. 22 years old. Did you start out with all of this? Like, I mean, how did you really become a DJ? I'm interested because I know nothing about being a
Nothing.
DJ or stuff.
Did you
down
pursue?
that. Yeah.
Did you pursue clubs, or were you just out? Or I mean, did somebody? How did
Let's
that work?
How did you
start with-
afford this equipment?
Okay.
It was the drugs he was selling
Yeah.
out of his parents'
You
garage.
guys are going crazy with your questions right
Yeah,
now.
it's like, what do I answer first?
Yeah.
So I'm just,
Yeah.
like, writing it down.
Well, is this
Okay.
recorded or
Yeah.
is this
Yeah,
off the record? Well, yeah, I mean,
Well, this is
Yeah.
this is
wait, I could say I
He
sold
can
stuff.
edit anything. Well, that
Yeah,
So you were an entrepreneur.
so when you started in
business
your
man.
You
you
were
were
started
a
in your
self-made man.
Yes.
when you okay, can I talk now? When you
Hey, so hey,
Hey.
when you started in Thank you. You finally got that.
you sound like a sample.
Yeah. When you started in your mom's basement, what gear did you start with? Like, what did you have?
My first controller was a Vestex Typhoon, and that company's no longer in business anymore.
Wow.
Like it was.
Is that because of you? Did you do something?
It's so outdated, and it's compared to the equipment I have now. It looks like a Fisher Price DJ
wow.
equipment.
Wow.
And you're thinking back now,
I
8
think
years
back-
ago. How the hell did I start on that?
Yeah.
I was so proud of it. I was like, oh man, I got my own DJ equipment. Yeah, I'm so cool.
That is awesome.
That's how you start, though, and you grow from there. Now,
Where was your first gig?
What was that company? Afton.
After.
Yeah, I used Afton. Are you familiar with them?
no, we don't know anything about DJs here on the Dusty Futon.
Oh, they book gigs for artists.
Oh,
mainly,
I got it.
Oh, okay.
for rappers.
There's another one too.
bands.
Sleeping Giant. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't used them yet though. And Afton pays out $1 per ticket sale,
Okay.
so I wouldn't recommend using them. But if you really are starting out and you want to have a gig and sell tickets to your parents and your friends,
Right.
you could use them.
Well, you got to start somewhere, I guess. Liz,
I'm gonna be a dick this episode, man. Talk on the microphone, please. I'm sorry.
Just turn my mic up.
Well, I
Well,
know
that's the
it's
thing is when I turn the mic up and you finally get on it, then it sounds like this.
I don't want to have this phallus right in my face.
Well, then let's then talk over it like you're licking it.
like a lollipop. Oh, this is not going well. The microphone situation. Oh, drop mic. Bam. This is a
Hey, it's an
fucking hot mess.
SM58. It's okay.
I can
All
edit
right.
that out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, so when what got first of all, what made you want to be a DJ? Because DJ is an interesting form of music artistry because you're not you create music,
Mhm.
but you're not a singer, you're not a vocalist, you're just creating and mixing a whole different style. So what brought you into that?
Well, first of all, I do produce my own music.
Right.
But playing out other people's music, I do have to make it sound good, and I do have to mix it in, blend it, make sure it's in the same key, same tempo, and same overall feel for the crowd.
Right.
Interesting.
What made you want to do that? Like, what got you started with, hey, I want to be a DJ?
I was always into music. I was playing guitar. I was in a band. We played dive bars, and I played a solo career. Did all the music on my own guitar, bass, drum programming, and vocals. Around 19 years old, I started going to raves, and I would look around and say, "Oh, yeah, DJing would be cool. I respect musicianship, but there's no money in it." And then my friend grabbed me by the head and said, "Look at how many people are here. There's thousands of people here, and y'all paid $50 each just to get in and wait 2 hours in line. There's money in this." And then I opened my eyes real wide and said, "Oh, yeah, there is."
Now that you mention it.
Now that you mention it, okay, yeah, there is. And so then after that, that's when I started, I went home the next day, started researching DAWs and DJ programs and getting right to it.
So your Fisher Price, was that I didn't know the brand. Like, I'm not familiar with it at all. Was that a DAW or was that an interface?
That was a controller. So it was
it's an interface.
Yeah, a mixer, and it had the two where the records would go, the two turntables.
where the records would go.
But it's all digital. It wouldn't be where the records would go.
This is a new DJ.
I don't know how to explain it to you guys. You guys aren't familiar with the DJ terms.
No, well, that's okay. I can help. I know some of it because we actually have a segment that we call Producer's Corner, where we actually have a guy who's familiar with this, who is the typical host. But we threw you into here just to screw up Tyler a little bit.
Because of the Tyler,
yeah.
The Bassassin.
Look at me.
Face.
Kept my mouth shut.
You did very well there, Tyler.
I'm
very impressed.
That was quite a long period of time.
A lot. Actually,
it's the whip in the background.
Cookies and beer.
I forgot you were there.
Yeah. I just blend into the wall here.
Well, let's.
I want to hear something. How does this work?
We have typically with the DJ, you have an entire set. You constantly update your music as you're going through. You blend it in live.
Is that what you do?
You mean my music?
Well,
yes.
No. When you're doing a DJ set, right? It's nonstop. Like, you're constantly blending track after track after track.
It doesn't stop. Like my gig last night was for 4 hours from 9 to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
it's a long night.
And you never stop playing music.
No.
Right. And
you can't. The people will look at you like, "Well, what happened?"
But you sent the tracks you sent me are all under 4 minutes long.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are these tracks? I haven't I haven't listened to any of it. No, actually, I listened to your music on Reverb Nation, where I found you.
Okay, yeah.
But
thank you for selecting me.
Of course.
I think I applied for you guys maybe a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was the beginning of last year, and we sent out. You didn't respond.
I wasn't approved.
Huh?
I was not approved. Yeah, I was not selected.
Been doing the producer's
we
corner
weren't.
then.
Yeah, that's what it was. We didn't have a producer's corner set up completely at that point.
And I thought, cool, these guys from San Diego. They'll definitely pick me. Well, they're gonna support the local San Diego artists,
right? Well, I think that's kind of what got him on doing the producer's corner, because he was getting submissions from artists like yourself. And so I wanted to get you guys some exposure as well.
That's very true.
Well, thank you for picking me this time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I was hoping that I'm having so many problems with this microphone issue.
I can hear myself.
I can hear you very well now.
I'm an engineer, so I'm all thinking about tonality and level and all this shit.
Okay,
so it's me. It's my
shit.
All right. So you sent me 3 tracks: Molly in the Club, Volcano, and Love Surround Me with Bang Music. Oh, We Bang.
We Bang was the he remastered. Actually, that CD will be re-released this year. It originally came out in 2009 or 2014. It'll be released in 2019 as a remaster. The 5-year anniversary.
And this is a track that's going to be on that album?
Yes, it is.
Well, let's go ahead and feature that one out. Yeah. Now, before we go into it, tell me a little bit about how you developed this track, because it's not from a live set, right?
No, this was all just from me sitting in my parents' garage, thinking of
being a businessman.
That's the name of the business. It's called In My Parents' Garage.
That is actually
In My Parents' Garage LLC.
Oh, where were we? I totally.
I don't know. I'm just gonna play this fucking
$1
song
right now.
Oh, you were asking about how it evolved, how he got this song, how
I
the
was.
song evolved. Yes, and he was in his parents' garage. We got that.
Just sitting there, just thinking like, what would sound good,
Yeah.
and making these robot noises. This would sound good. Oh, this would sound good.
Okay, so that's a good lead.
That's about it. It's robot
So here we
noises, and
are.
I'll
This'll
completely
sound good.
acknowledge that.
Robot
awesome.
noises and love surround me. So this is Bassassin's
Bassassin.
DJ Bassassin's track "Love Surround Me."
Allie is excited right now. This is her thing right here. This is jam.
Yeah.
There you go, girl.
Let your love surround me. Oh, let your love surround me. Oh, let your love surround me. Oh, put your arms around me.
My son
Oh,
was
put
gonna
your
love you.
arms around
He's
me.
22. It's his thing.
Oh, put your arms around me.
Yeah.
Get it.
Allie's whipping out her wallet right now. She's like, "We're buying your CD, motherfucker. Where is it?"
I got free copies for you guys.
Nice. I guarantee you that's going to be the car ride home.
She's like 100% correct.
I forgot to refer to Allie by her correct name on the show, which is DJ Sly.
That's right. That's what she was by. Get that straight, man.
This song goes great with an IPA.
I like that review. I'll add up my reverberation.
It pairs well with the Stone
You
Ruination.
can, yes, you can quote him on that. Philip and Michaela are gonna love this.
I am recommending this to my coworker, Jacqueline Martinez. Jake Wellen, you know where you are. So we can listen to this while we enter our purchase orders.
Yes, Philip and Michaela Campos.
Your music has just
There you go,
inspired her to talk into the microphone.
First
I don't
time
think she's ever done that.
ever.
She's been in 6 episodes, but never from her own self.
The power of music.
Yes.
It can do things to you. So what's interesting about the song? It's got 14 seconds left, but I'm sure it can go on for another 30 minutes. So I'm just gonna go ahead.
If you
and drop
wanted
it
it
off.
to, I could just loop that for you.
Well,
There you
that's
go.
what I was going to ask: is how
Looper.
much of that was loops and how much of that was original creation by you?
The loops were the intro.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the lyrics, and then I went on a website and looked for a singer.
Did you sing the lyrics?
No. No.
He had his wife, like, give him a little kick,
That was
you
not
know?
me.
I was 22. I was younger.
Yeah, it was way before I met you, honey. Great. Now I'm going to get it tonight.
Yeah. Like he
Wait,
was
isn't that a good thing? Getting it tonight? Okay.
They do have a young baby.
no.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure I got our last guest in their next divorce. So
Yeah.
You kind of
I'm
did
on a
stir
roll
that
here.
one up.
Shit.
So you pretty much, in terms of you said robotic noise before we started this. So
Mhm.
you created all that yourself.
Yes.
And what program did you use?
Fruity Loops.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
It's the
Oh my-
best.
That is like, okay.
I know it's old
I'm-
school.
no.
That was when it
always
was called Fruity Loops. Now
remember.
it's FL Studio.
Yeah, now it's FL
Yeah.
Studio. I remember.
That
when-
was called Fruity Loops.
do you remember when we had Ricky
Yes,
on?
Ricky
And
Garcia.
I just flipped out about that because he was
Super
awesome.
talented as
We
well
had
as
one
you.
of his friends on a Producer's Corner episode talking about the same thing. That was my first intro into digital music was Fruity Loops. and I sucked on it. Like I was horrible. I'm like, what does this do? I have no clue, and I gave it up. And to hear
Stacy in here is very, very, very talented.
Yeah, but something like that, being able to create it on it blows my mind. So, like, what did you start with? Like, what sound did you start with to develop that?
I started with presets off of Massive. You know, some of it was Inbox, but a lot of it was using Massive.
Okay.
Using the presets they have in there. I don't really know the exact names of them.
Okay.
This is why, a little synthesizer.
This is why I don't host producer corners, because
I'm just sitting here going, you know how I'm not a DJ. I'm sitting here like an old person, like I don't know what all you kids just said.
What are those name
like,
words? Yeah.
Yeah, Massive, Fruity Loops, hyphy. Like, what is all this stuff?
Well, those are brand names.
Yeah, just make up words.
But you know he said DAW earlier, right?
DAW?
That's a digital audio
workstation.
Yeah.
No, I don't know this.
You do now.
I
You
know
do now.
very
I
little.
love this.
Yeah.
I'm getting so
No,
enlightened.
this is great. You're really
It's really interesting.
immersing me into this this life. And one, I gotta say that I love the music, by the way.
Same.
It is pure chaos, which is
Uh-huh.
all that's
Fabulous.
going on right up here.
All the time.
24 hours a day, even when I sleep.
Yeah.
So this actually kind of puts me right in my comfortable atmosphere. You know, it's like, this is where I feel nice.
Your
I can go
happy
to
place,
sleep
right?
listening to this stuff. You know,
Really?
no, not necessarily, but it gets me pumped, and I feel completely comfortable. Some people sit there and I'm sure you've heard people say that, oh, it's just noise. You just put a bunch of noise, not music or anything like that. I'm like, bullshit.
See, that's one of the problems I have with the way people look at EDM to begin with. The EDM is its own branch of music, and from EDM you have so many different aspects of that. And what's I guess what genre of EDM would you call your style?
Overall, it would be bass music.
Okay.
Like I kind of encompass dubstep, trap, drum and bass, and hip hop. Like a combination of all those music together.
I was going to say dubstep because that's the only one I really know. And I was like, I hope I get that right, because there are so many subgenres that they're like, no, that's not dubstep.
I was going to go more of a
You know?
trance bass is what I figured.
Here we go.
Yeah, those intro chords were kind of, this dude's kind of trancey.
Yeah, I used to be into EDM many years ago when I wore all those funky clothes and had zippers everywhere. But
fat pants
and
the
that's
UFOs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had some crazy pieces of clothing that
wearing the Junko jeans.
Junko.
Oh man, I had so many of those when I was younger.
Nice.
Yeah.
16 years old rocking those things, man.
Right? Like, I don't have feet. They're just stumps. I can go straight into the ground.
Well, I think there's just a huge misconception about EDM altogether, and in general, about it not being music.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the big reason for that is because, like you said, it's all you don't have anything physical that you use.
I use a keyboard.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. You don't have a physical instrument that you play, and you don't use your voice necessarily.
Yeah.
That's not a keyboard.
It's recording. I record.
It's not a keyboard. What is it called?
No,
it's an interface.
I have a USB keyboard.
Right, but it's not a keyboard.
It's 24 keys, like a piano, not a full grand piano.
Well, I'm trying to get it. There's a term other than keyboard for it that you use. It's a interface of sorts, right? It's I guess it's a MIDI keyboard.
In the sense, yeah. In the sense, there's like.
It sounds like you're asking a question that you already know the answer to, Big John.
Well, I couldn't remember the name. I was hoping he'd say it.
I know. I saw the short circuit there. I just couldn't help you out. I'm sorry.
But what I mean by that is you obviously have musical prowess because you come from a background of playing a guitar and being in a band. So you have that exposure and that experience. But where you take it is into a different level of music, and you don't have instrumentation necessarily. You write the instrumentation. You're more of an author than you are a musician in that aspect. I'm not saying you're not a musician. I'm just saying in that aspect of the way you create your music, you're more of an author.
I think in the sense of maybe the distorted noises, that's might be what you're thinking, but there's also a lot of chords, a lot of melody in there too.
Right.
As you heard in the intro.
Right. Now, are you playing those live, or are you pumping them in and then adjusting them?
No, I'm playing them live, and then adding effects like flanger or whatever to them.
Oh, really?
And gates, in the mixing process. I do all my own mixing and mastering for the most part.
Wow.
Sounds really good.
It does. It sounds really good.
Well, that one was the remaster. That was done from a friend of mine.
Oh, so we got to hear the other stuff.
Yeah.
That was You don't want to hear the 2014 master.
Okay. Okay.
We grow.
I'm like all out of my element here, so I feel a little uncomfortable. But
So you said you played guitar and bass when you were younger.
Yes.
When did you throw that away?
What type of music did you play at?
Oh,
I'm kidding.
maybe when I was
your girlfriend just shot me evil eyes.
Yeah, I haven't touched them in a couple of years.
Yeah.
I'll bring them back up when for my daughter. You know, I have a 6-month-old daughter.
Congratulations!
Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Oh, wait,
I saw the picture. She's beautiful.
Is she?
Is her name Molly?
Guest host Allie.
No, my wife wouldn't let me name her Molly.
No.
Oh, she just got the F. No, he got the
I just
F.
got that. I just got that. Oh my God.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's our Tyler.
I
That's our
apologize.
Tyler.
I'm sorry.
Had to go there.
Wow. Okay.
She's beautiful. She is. What's her name?
It's the IPA.
Layla.
Layla.
Oh,
Nice.
Yes.
Layla
That's a good
Like
Selena.
Derek and the Dominoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle name is Selena.
Ooh,
So
Oh.
There you go.
very musical name.
very musical name.
Totally.
Except she does cry for Argentina
and
and everything else.
everything.
Yeah.
else, yeah.
And when she's hungry or has poopies or something like that.
You're so dumb. I swear.
All right, so I want you to tell me a story.
Yeah, shout out Tyler.
About what? Name a
Shut up,
topic.
Tyler.
I got plenty of stories.
Oh,
Pick me. Pick me.
pick me.
Pick me.
I don't
Pick
wanna-
me. Pick me.
I did pick you.
That's right. No, I
Or you
picked
guys-
you.
you guys
I
picked
picked
me.
you. Now you
Yeah,
pick me.
This time, about time.
Yeah, I know.
It's only been 2 years
Second
or
time's
a
the
year.
charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He likes sloppy seconds. What can I say?
I'm gonna,
I don't know where
Oh,
that
hi.
came from.
no, go ahead. I don't know. What's your what's the best experience you've had DJing at a club or show or whatever?
I think my best one was when I DJ'd at the sports arena for the Life and Color Music Festival.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
When was that? Because it's not called
So
that
you're kind of-
anymore.
No,
Kind
no,
of-
bless
Whoa.
you for calling it Sports Arena.
I don't know what else to call it.
I know. I know.
I mean,
They changed the name.
Now it's Pachanga Arena. I guess they just
What,
changed
yeah.
it again.
Pachanga?
It's called Pachanga
That's
Arena
not even
now.
in San Diego County.
It is no longer the VVCC on SOAB.
The Valley
you had
View
that
Casinos-
down.
That was pretty slick.
It's not like Qualcomm, the
Yeah.
SDCCU stadium.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, at least
It's the Murph.
Qualcomm held Qualcomm forever. I mean, Coors Amphitheater couldn't even hold that forever.
Yeah, I know.
Qualcomm's
Is
still
it
the
still
Murph
cricket?
to me.
It's not even cricket
No.
anymore.
They
It's
changed
a sleep train.
It's sleep. No,
No,
it's not
no,
even
it's-
sleep train.
it's
It's mattress
firm.
firm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sleep
it's
train.
not.
Oh
Navy
Nuh-uh.
Federal Credit Union.
no!
It's USAA.
I don't want to live in this world anymore.
Sorry, fellas and
I got a
gals.
headache from that.
I mean, even Anna and KGB couldn't remember the name of it. She's like, that one
Oh,
arena
wow.
down in Chula Vista.
Chula Vista.
That one
Yeah,
one.
Chula Vista.
Well, that's Anna. So I trained her. You know that, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, I trained her. Seriously.
What a fucking hot mess that
You know
was.
what? She's on good terms with me because I just won Doobie Brothers
Yes,
tickets.
Yeah,
for
I heard
her.
that.
Yes.
Yay.
So finally, I've been getting in contests like those top 10 lists all the fucking time with her, and she never gives me any love ever. No on love, and then
You're kind
finally,
of like an insider.
well, no, but I'm
But
not.
not. I know.
I am 4 years removed from that company. I am technically a listener, and now
You
a
are
prize
a
pig.
listener and
So-
a prize pig. Good for you.
Well, let's get back to the
It's back to me, the
So
main
the
focus
nouns-
here.
Yeah,
Yes, all right. Let's talk to the other Tyler.
finally got on the
Shut up
show
first,
and
Tyler.
you're talking.
Hashtag shut up.
All right, so now let's go back to the story that you were telling us about playing at the sports arena. What what made that your bet? Was it the size of the crowd? Or
Yeah, just playing for 3,000 or 5,000 people.
That's rad.
how far into your career did that happen?
That was 2016. 2016. So that was
Pretty recent.
6 years
Wow.
in.
Now, I've been in the crowd when DJs are on. I mean, you're sitting there getting the speakers blasted on you, but it's a completely different experience being you up on the stage. What does that feel like standing up there and commanding the movement of 3,000 to
Everyone's
5,000 people?
Oh, I
That's
loved
insane.
it. It was just amazing seeing people get down to the music that I thought they would like, and then enjoy the music that I created myself.
Yeah. And to see the reaction, that must be freaking insane.
Yeah, to see them just bounce to the drop,
That's cool.
that was really cool.
How'd you score that gig?
I sold a lot of tickets.
Really?
Yeah, I had to I had to work very hard to get that. I think I sold like 135 tickets to. I call people that I don't even know. Like I had to message people. I had to find people on Facebook.
Can you talk on the microphone? I know you can hear yourself.
This sitting up straight bullshit is like,
well then,
like what am I in detention? Like
sit up straight,
man.
Like I don't need you to
God,
sit up straight. I need you to talk in the mic. Well then, get yourself comfortable.
Yeah, he needs to go back to his grandma's house.
There you go,
man.
There you go. See, that's perfect.
Oh,
look,
finally,
you're so much more comfortable too.
I don't know why you were so
God.
sitting up there. Who
you had
told
me
you to
sitting
do
up
that?
straight.
I didn't tell you to sit up straight. I don't know who said that.
my lower back is hurting
do you
now.
need a ice pack or a heating pad or something?
Just drink another beer
or a Vicodin or something.
Yeah, preferably.
So how many tickets did you sell?
135.
100. Then that was for like. So how did that? You sold that for the show?
That's a hustle. That's a hustle.
So how did you get on the bill for the show?
By selling 135 tickets.
So they
Like,
give you the opportunity.
and even the promoter was calling me and saying, "Oh, hey, this other DJ just sold another 10." I was like, oh, "Fuck!" So I would call my wife and say, "Talk to your coworkers. Talk to whoever you can talk. Talk to your customers, and try to sell them tickets.
Oh, man.
Whatever we can do."
I feel really bad for the DJ that sold 134 tickets.
Oh, that's what I was about to ask.
But you know what?
Hold on. I want to understand this. So you sold tickets and you became the DJ to play. So what about the tickets that somebody else already sold? Did they get to come and see you?
They got a payout. Their cut or whatever, their percentage. But they didn't get the slot.
do this. So they didn't get to do the set, but they got a percentage of the tickets that they sold.
Yeah, and that's what the promoter
that sounds like a fucked up way to sell.
It absolutely is.
Promoters are the devil,
and that's kind of how it is.
Dickish.
I don't know how it is in like for bands.
It's like gambling.
It's
like
but it's
Pachanga
not
Casino.
It's not gambling for the person putting the show on because they're making money off of people who are selling a show that they're not even going to play it.
Yeah, of course.
And then all their friends that they sold tickets to,
Yeah,
like, oh, we were hoping to see you. Like, oh, well,
I know.
That's
Oh,
like
no.
wow.
Great experience for you because you got to play in front of 3 to 5.
Yeah,
that's the truth of the matter,
That's
I guess.
exposure right
but
there.
damn,
That's why you got to buy the friggin' night or just forget it.
I'm seriously floored by that prospect that you have to sell tickets in order to be on the billet.
And the highest
and
ticket sellers.
It's not even pay to play. That's slave to play.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then that's kind of how it is with some of the clubs. I don't really want to name them unless it's okay. I don't want to name.
You can
them.
name whatever you want. Like I said,
internet, dude.
we are not sponsored or trying to make anybody happy. We're here for you, so you could put anybody on blast you want.
Well, some of the clubs in downtown, they make you sell a certain number of tickets to even play at even 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
And that could be anywhere from 35 to 50.
Yeah.
At 20.
Well, that's the pay to play that Kim just mentioned. That's part of the problem with the San Diego music scene to begin with.
All around.
And everywhere now. It's spreading even further.
You can all thank Bill Gazzari for that from the Whiskey A Go-Go. He started that.
Yeah. It's basically if you want to be on our stage, you have to pay us.
Yeah,
you got to
buy a bulk of tickets, and then you sell those for whatever you want.
You pay for the privilege of playing, saying you could. Oh, I played here before.
Yeah.
To tell it to other clubs that. Oh, okay, cool. You played there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, but there are certain clubs that try to do that you're not really happy to say. Oh yeah, I got to play it. Blah blah blah.
I'm like, okay, we'll sell 30 tickets to our club now. Like,
right.
You gotta do the whole process all over again.
It's a vicious circle.
But it's way worse for you guys.
Yeah, because they have to sell. I mean.
I'm sorry. I can't.
And those weren't cheap. That was $50 to $70 a piece.
Jeez.
So you had to blindly sell $50 tickets to people who may not even see you.
Yeah. And to people I didn't even know. I when I was working, at a gas station at the time.
My question is, how did you get people you didn't know to give up $50? Because I want to know how to do that.
Told them I'm a DJ and I'm playing here with these other DJs that are going to be there.
How many other DJs were there?
There was 3 other touring headlining DJs.
Oh, and then the local guy,
and then 3 other or 2 other besides me. So 3 locals and 3 touring DJs.
Okay, so was anybody who sold tickets not on stage or not performing?
Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Anybody who was selling tickets not actually perform at all?
No, everyone that performed sold tickets unless they were the headliners. But they were
So
the headliners were guaranteed, probably a crazy amount of money and a crazy amount of alcohol.
And they can thank you for that.
Well, what I was trying to get at is the logistics behind it, because I was misunderstanding what you said. I thought you were saying that you would have to sell, if you didn't sell the most tickets, you didn't even get to play.
The guys that I went on first,
right?
Because I sold 135, and there were guys that sold there was one guy that sold 300, and he got to go on before the headliners.
So how many people were selling tickets?
Oh man, I don't even know. Like I know that there are some people that got upset that I was the one that got chosen, and in the DJ circles, in other chat rooms, or in meetings with other promoters, that have heard my name, and they didn't want to book me because their friends
didn't get
a spot, and I did, and so that's just politics.
Yep. Politics ruins everything.
It does. I hate that shit.
This is so disappointing. It's so disappointing that people just can't be fair and be respectful and do the right thing.
Exactly. It's like, it's not about you. I'm sorry. It's not about your politics.
Apparently,
it's about the music.
It's all about their pockets,
Yeah. If you're good, you should be able to fucking play.
Yeah, and if they did want to book me, like, well, they know that I could sell tickets. I don't know why they wouldn't want to have me sell tickets to their thing.
See, that's the other thing is you play a politics game and you can lose most of the time because if you're trying to play to favorites, you may be playing to a favorite that doesn't help you.
That's true. It's really true.
And then you're stuck into their little circle, and then you're not able to get out of that circle without losing that whole group that you're playing to. So just be fucking neutral.
Or you might be associated with some people that this other group doesn't like, and they're like, oh well.
Exactly.
Freaking exhausting, man.
That's why you just don't play the politics game at all, and you just play DJ Bassassin or Bassassin.
Yeah, I'd rather be a free agent.
Yeah.
And I did roll with a couple of crews. Like when I was living in LA, I was with the Mayhem team, then I was on the Motive team, and then I was with a couple of local guys over here. But I'd rather just be a free agent, not deal with anything.
Yeah.
Just do you and do it.
Yeah. And just pick up gigs whenever.
Yeah, pay yourself.
Well,
yeah,
we mentioned what Tyler wanted Tyler's daughter to be named, and there happens to be a song, "Molly in the Club."
Look at Mama over there; she's like not having it.
I guess we can't bring that up anymore.
Well, she has breastfeeding, so you know.
Not at the moment. She.
I'm like, wait, what?
But she does breastfeed our baby.
So no,
John's like, what right now?
I'm like, craning.
No Molly, no caffeine.
No.
Well, let's check out Molly
beer.
in the Club featuring Chrome.
Chrome Corleone, as he likes to be called now.
Corleone.
Chrome Corleone is like to be called now.
This is very gangster, man. Very gangster.
Well, he's featured on this track by DJ Bassassin, Molly in the Club.
Here we go.
I gotta put myself in the form of I am on a Molly. I gotta feel like I'm on a Molly. I'm about to pop this Molly. DJ Bassassin, what it do? What up? Trimmy, man, I can't feel my face.
I impressed myself with that kick drum. There's so much bass in that kick.
I impressed myself with my choice of headphones. If you can feel it.
Fuck it, Molly in the club. Got it in morning like fuck us, so come on, I got that one, maybe showing this song. I turn this to freak to the back of a home. My niggas got top of the song, you don't want it. Deep, Molly's in the club, they got Molly's in the club. Molly's in the club, they got Molly's in the club. Molly. That's all I got. money in the club. We got money in the club. Money in the club. We got money in the club. Money, 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 money,
Seriously, I'm already picturing what it would be like to be in the club with you.
Insane, right?
And I want to be there.
You said you have a standing, a residency every other Friday somewhere?
Yeah, every other Friday, I play at the Moxie Hotel in San Diego on 6th Street.
Nice, right in the gas lamp.
Yeah, oh yeah, right in the heart.
You got that's a good gig.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
every other Friday.
Yeah, so twice a month.
Badass.
On Friday nights,
This is-
like from 9 to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Bassassin.
Bassassin. That's the new term for badass is Bassassin.
It's pretty much.
Remember that less is more we were talking about?
Uh-huh.
So
Leave
powerful.
space.
That reverb, that holding it out.
I like reverb a lot. A lot.
I feel like that should have been in like an Arby's commercial or something.
I feel like that was more of a
Get the
sampler.
meats.
I feel like that was more of a sampler of what you could do. Because you bounced around in a lot of different like styles and tempos and feels with just that one track.
I like to that was that track came out around 2016, and that was when I was using a lot of hip hop influenced EDM, and so I was combining the two genres.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, I had the rapper that no man, I have a story now.
Okay,
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So
Story time.
living in Tahoe at the time, I think this was 2010, maybe 2011, something like that. Me and my best friend, we were living in Tahoe. We shared the master bedroom in a house with maybe 5 other people that were all snowboarders, and they all worked at different snowboarding mountains. And like I didn't snowboard. I'm not athletic.
Obviously, you just said snowboarding mountain. So
oh shit, I don't
ski slope, snow slope, whatever, board slope. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a mountain, and you go down it on a snowboard.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call it. Like
You sound like us talking about DJs.
Okay,
ski resorts.
There you go.
Yeah.
That works. That's close enough.
So you're in Tahoe.
Well, not really resorts. They're just like a ski lift.
There you go.
That picks
right?
you up,
But I don't.
Mountain.
and the slope is what you go down.
But they didn't ski. They snowboarded. So snowboard lift.
Finish your story.
So you're in Tahoe. You got your 5
And
6 people you're living with.
yeah. And,
Did we trail off too much?
No. I mean, it kind of goes along with it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be living in a house with like 5 people. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. A lot.
I forgot what my question was.
So he has a story. So
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
in
Give me
Tahoe.
back your question in a second. I'm telling a story.
That's what I was waiting for.
I lived in a house, Tahoe, in North Lake Tahoe, and
North Shore.
just listening to 3-6 Mafia every single night, watching Cheech and Chong every night, just being like just completely like more drunk than I've ever been ever. Because I'm from San Diego. I'm from Poway, California.
It's all you have to do.
Yeah, your resistance, because the higher elevation gets you drunker faster.
That's right. That makes sense.
So your tolerance goes up when you're in the mountains.
It goes down.
It goes down because of lack of
The
oxygen
is
and
Less
higher elevation.
tolerance.
Well, I mean, if you drink heavily while you're in the mountains, your tolerance goes up because when you come
Yeah,
down,
when I came back down here, I could outdrink anybody.
that's what I meant. Your tolerance
there you
goes
go,
up,
there you go.
I'm over here drinking a
You're
beer
doing that.
that's like 8.5% right now.
and you're still talking like you're. Well, actually, you're
That's
just
like
warming
nothing.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cheating.
well, this is actually beer
That's
number
like
2 for me
Lance
today.
Armstrong
Yeah.
blood dope.
That's number 2.
Well,
This is number 2, and I got another one in the
I
back.
want
One
to
more
take
to
this, I
go.
want to take
One
this
more to
down
go.
to a serious note. Here. I want to take it down to a little serious level here.
Oh.
After listening to your track, I
Since
got it.
when?
I know, right?
I know that is like a
Since episode 1, it hasn't been serious.
We were made on April Fool's Day, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's fun. I know.
We're made on.
That's kind of planned. After listening to your track, though, like it amazes me. You said that track was 2016.
Yes.
And so that was, if I'm doing the math right, about 5 years after you had started DJing.
Yes.
So do you do this like in your sleep? Because you are at a level of somebody who's been doing this forever. And I'm not like, my opinion is the way this stuff sounds. And Ali, you listen to a lot of music, a lot of EDM. What do you think? Is it's very high level quality in the terms that the way your music sounds?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you. We got it.
DJ
Thank you for your input.
DJ Sly over there.
So how hard do you work? Like how much time do you spend on your beats, your crafting, your designing of your songs?
I would spend hours, like days. No.
Yeah.
I would never sleep. I would just stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning every single day. I wouldn't eat, and I wouldn't shower. Like I would never leave my computer. I would just sit there and make sure that everything sounds right.
We're happy you picked those habits back up, by the way.
The showering and the cleansing your body.
Kim's sitting there like, I didn't put the plastic on that chair.
He's like, you don't know, I finally took a shower after 2 weeks.
No, were you just that much in the zone and just that much in the zone?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just never leave. I would never eat. I would never get up. I would just sit there until I thought it was done.
Well, that's a good weight loss method.
At least it was productive, though. It's not like World of Warcraft or something.
Oh,
where, like,
right.
Hey.
I'm treading
World
sacred
of
ground.
Warcraft is productive. I'm meeting with my friends bi-weekly to strategize.
Team
about
building exercises,
team building.
right? Yeah.
I do that once a year. It's called fantasy football draft.
Yes. Oh,
Yep.
man.
Same.
But that's pretty impressive because that's like to compare it to a music side of like an artist, like musicians. A lot of musicians don't spend the time necessary to perfect their craft.
Yeah.
It's like once you design a song and you build a song and you create it, you sit there and you play it and you're like, oh, I'm good. You put it aside and you perform it when you go out to a show. And a lot of artists I've come across, not necessarily on the Dusty Futon, but they'll only basically consider their performances their practice. But
I despise that.
yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
There's a lot of artists out there, and some of the EDM artists I've talked to are kind of the same way, because once you put it on the computer, it's done in their eyes, like in a lot of people's eyes. But you constantly working on your tracks, it shows in what you sent me.
There's a difference between a weekend warrior and a professional.
Exactly.
And I think exactly
He
what we have here is a
He actually
professional.
plays his interface or keyboard, whichever way you want to call it.
Yeah. I'm an interfacist.
That sounds bad.
It's like it says you're an interfascist on your resume. No, dang it.
Interfacer.
Bassassin.
Interfister? What?
What instruments do you play? Oh, I'm an interfacer.
Interfacer. I'm a keyboardist. Really?
Interesting.
When you honestly, when you first said keyboard, I was thinking a computer keyboard. That's why I kept changing.
No, I mean I have a line 6 keyboard.
Yeah, a
Right
MIDI,
on. A line 6.
a MIDI interface, so to speak.
Yeah, I like line 6 because I also have one of their guitar amps too.
Yeah. You like it?
Yep, I support
Nice.
that company.
Is line? That's the one that they have a lot of presets in their guitar amps, or they?
Yeah, the Spider. And that's
Yeah.
I have the Spider 3.
Oh, that's
Makes
like a
perfect sense.
top of the line one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that was like
It's baller.
$275. Like I bought it like in 2010.
Nice,
Good job, kid.
nice, nice.
I don't know what that is. I'm sitting there, Spider 3. That's got to be a Pokemon card. I don't know.
It's a guitar amp.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've been out of the game since 2015, man. I don't know anything anymore.
We're reeling you back.
That was in
Tyler.
2010.
I know. Luckily, things are in the work. I'm getting back into it again. Stay
Yes.
tuned.
Yeah,
everybody.
you've got a
All
bass
right.
guitar in tow.
Yeah, I'm going back to my roots. I'm playing the bass again.
No.
And
What kind of bass do you have?
Well, I'm playing an Ibanez right now.
I have an Ibanez.
Yes, they're great. I love Ibanez. They were my
Yeah.
first. They may end up being my last. I don't know.
Ooh.
It's like a good woman.
Right.
You know, it gives you everything that you need. I got turned on to Ibanez because when I first started playing the guitar, I was really heavily into Korn.
Oh yeah, I was
Yeah.
actually going to interrupt you and say that, but you said it first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
The 7 strings.
I never did the 7 string though. That one extra
That's
one just
crazy.
fucked me up because, like I said, I started out as a bass player, and so coming up the 6 strings was already kind of like a little bit of a step. But Kimmy, you got people coming out of the woodwork over here. What's going on?
The fail
How long has she been
bands.
back there? Is she listening the whole time? Oh no!
I don't think she's still. I don't think she's listening
She's like,
at all.
I'm not still
No.
listening now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, face. Just going to a party. Hold on.
What was I talking about?
The party need DJ.
You're talking about Ibanez, but let's talk about Bassassin.
Hey, so I do have a question though, and I want to come back, to a little more serious, more on a professional level, how you perfect your craft. So when you go and you play shows, I imagine you have like sets of, you do some mashups, you play bits of, songs that are out there that people know about or familiar on the radio and stuff like that. What really, how do you set your list up? Because honestly, you can't come out with like your best tracks first.
No, you wouldn't want to start that out because no one started drinking yet. Or they just got there. They just arrived. Maybe they're halfway done to their first cocktail, and they're not really feeling anything yet. They're just kind of talking with their friends, not really dancing. They just want to sit and have conversations what they've done throughout the week and catch up.
So you like to kind of, I guess you like to kind of read the crowd and wait for these moments. You wait to see kind of the first, white girl fall over and go, okay, now we're getting sauced. It's time to start dropping the bass a little bit.
Yeah, now someone just starts playing some ratchet hip hop or some trap music.
There you go. Again, professional.
Right? Let's get some more white girls falling over. Yeah, let's do it.
What is your favorite EDM style that you like? Like when you sit down and you start writing, when you sit down and you start like designing a sound or a song, what is your go-to to start from? And it may evolve to something different, but what's your go-to style to start with?
You went to the dub track or the dubstep track.
Yeah, I would say dubstep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that goes with your
Isn't
name.
That more
Bassassin.
more bass driven.
Very, very bass driven. Oh, I thought Allie was gonna. I thought I saw a hand go up.
I feel like she should be asking all the questions.
I know,
She
right?
knows way more than any of us. Yeah.
I kind of do, yes.
And that's all we get from Allie.
Well, then let's just get one question.
Do you have a question you want to ask us?
DJ Sly, come on.
What is your opinion on Skrillex?
Who? He's like, who?
Let's not bring up other artists. Do you have anything like about EDM?
Just what kind of why are you drawn towards that type of music? I guess because some people
That's
are
a good question.
drawn towards that.
Yeah,
because it's popular and it makes money.
There you go. Okay,
He's
so
got a
you're a
baby to feed.
businessman. Yeah.
We already established that, the garage, the parents, the business.
Yeah. He's like, I'm not selling out. I'm buying in, motherfucker.
Right?
Yeah, let's see punk.
Yes.
Oh, we're big
I
fans
like
of punk
this guy.
over here.
And I'm not biased because
Same.
his name is also mine. But no, not at all.
Not at all.
That's exactly what I tell people too because before I was doing dubstep, I was doing a genre called gabber, like hardcore techno.
Watch your mouth.
Oh, really?
And I even had it tattooed on me before I was doing dubstep. And
what is gabber?
I got see, it's a skull with headphones on. It is the most unlistenable music that
it's like screamo metal,
like the big squeal that people could listen to, that normal people could listen to, and I completely enjoyed it, and I did that for so long, and then I wasn't making any money out of it, and
was it because maybe you were the only one that liked it?
Yeah, I think I was the only one that liked it, especially in America too, and then USA. And
well, you like blending genres. Have you tried to figure out a way to bring that back? Since you like it, bring it back into what you do and blend it and mold it into your own.
Yeah. So I have a.
She's like the producer screaming behind the glass.
Like, no,
yeah.
Stop.
She's the wifeager.
The wifeager. Oh, nice.
The womanager.
That is cool.
I actually have a besides the remaster coming out this year, I have a 2-song record coming out, and it's gonna be
what, 75 minutes long.
No, songs. but it's gonna be in a similar style of gabber called hard style, and it's gonna be sampling Donald Trump. And it's gonna be it's gonna be his the sampling of him cussing with the hard style music rendition of "Hail to the Chief," and it's gonna be completely ironic though.
Yeah, but
it's all gonna be ironic.
I'm just like I'm trying to think of how do you dubstep or whatever "Hail to the Chief." I'm excited to hear it.
I think he's gonna figure it out. Yeah.
I played it on piano and then I transposed it and played it I had all crazy kind of distortion into the synthesizers on there.
Did you make it minor? Because I know a lot of your stuff is in minor scale.
It's got to be D minor.
The saddest note.
It's the saddest.
What's that song called? Lick My Love Pump.
Yeah. Always come back to Spinal
Oh
Tap.
gosh, you can't get
Wow.
enough Spinal Tap ever.
He's reaching for more beer.
More beer.
More beers.
More
and
beer.
Oh, last one.
Oh,
There you go.
That's okay.
Yep. Yep. Kim, do you have any waters in the fridge?
I don't have any waters in the fridge,
Do
actually.
you need a water?
Do you
I
need
meant
a water?
Coors.
You meant,
No.
oh, yeah.
Yes. Is there Coors in the
Of
fridge?
course. Come
Do you
on.
want a Coors?
You don't know me at all. Of course there's Coors.
What?
It'll
You
go
want-
good with my Coors
Surfboard.
bottle opener.
But I'm sure you'd rather
my
drink the
keychain.
Stone.
I'll have one too, sir.
I'd rather drink your beer, to be honest. That way I could save my beer for later.
Right?
Okay, there you go. Bring it Coors.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm about to say my beer. I don't make beer.
He can go home and enjoy himself and not have to, worry about
So what's interesting, okay, when it comes to the musicality of EDM, like you said, Kim, a lot of people don't consider it music.
Then they judge right away because they don't.
Right. And Tyler here.
What?
I'm sorry. I mean
Real Tyler.
DJ Bassassin.
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 I love that.
Can you
I'm doing that intentionally now, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Bassassin.
I'm not. I'm saying it correctly.
I know.
Bassassin.
But DJ Bassassin.
DJ Bassassin. In the house.
DJ Bassassin, actually, like you just said, in remarks to the Hail to the Chief thing, you played that song, right? And you played it in real time, editing or recording it into your DAW.
Yes.
Right? And then from there, you took what you already recorded and transposed it into something completely different. Like you may move it up a scale, may move it to a different key or whatever, right? And so that brings a whole level of musicality into your EDM music. Do you do that same thing? Like, do you write songs in just a standard, like on a piano, and then do that same thing?
No, I go in and I'll improvise. I just kind of sit there, look at the computer for a little bit, think of a key. I figure, I'll do this one in A minor, or I'll do this one in F, whatever, and then sit there, think, and then make a couple of sounds, and like, oh, okay, this would sound good. This would sound good, and then find a sample. Oh, okay, now maybe I'll change stuff up, keep it going. But it's all improv, though. It's all improv at the end of the day.
Like even your live record or even your recordings that you're creating, you just improv the whole way through.
I just sit there and create it that day, or I mean throughout the days. But
Right.
it's I don't write any notation down.
It's all in the computer.
Yeah.
Like nothing is done on a piece of paper.
I don't
or-
pre-write anything.
No,
Not even
wow.
the lyrics.
So you just feel it out and you just kind of jam, as it were.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is really cool. So you will have it on a loop and just sit there, maybe tweak a couple things and just sit there with it on a loop in your head. And
he's kind of like like the Bob Ross of DJs, where he's like,
Yeah.
I start to see these things happening in front of me before they're even there. We're gonna go, yes, actually, right here.
Here's a little
This is where we're gonna put a happy little bass drop, right here. Yeah. And here comes Peapod, the wah, 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 wah noise. We'll sneak him in there
That'd be- yeah,
somewhere. That's where he's
this
gonna
is-
live, right
yeah,
here.
at the
Shoot.
30-second mark. That's when the blah 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 noise comes
if
in.
you want to sample that, I'll give you that audio clip from Tyler doing that. Oh man.
I missed it, huh?
Yeah, you missed it, and we're about
Yeah.
to kill it here. But
Yeah,
we're gonna play one more track before we kill it.
Make my love pump.
My love pump.
See, you just can't.
That's what
No,
happens.
you
You put
can't.
one ruination in me.
All right, so Volcano
Mm,
is the name of this track.
I just pictured like
That's a Jimmy Buffett song.
I'm
it
sensing
now?
It is. It's a good one, but I bet you it's a
Really?
better Bassassin song.
he
Oh,
played
check that one
the.
out.
Oh my god, he sang the national anthem at one of the playoff.
I
games.
loved it. You don't have
He
to
was
be
so
good.
bad.
You just have to be Jimmy Buffett.
Then he dropped Mike. I was like, oh my god.
He threw that shit. He had a vendetta against that mic.
He did, and
Yeah.
it was a horrible performance.
Was it like
sorry.
Roseanne Barr?
But it doesn't
performance?
have to be good. I mean, honestly, what did you expect from Jimmy Buffett?
Why did they have Jimmy Buffett?
Did you
That's what I
expect
just-
Mariah Carey performance out of Jimmy Buffett? It's
No.
Jimmy fucking Buffett. The guy sold grass for a living before he made his music career.
A lot of people did.
Everyone
but-
starts somewhere.
Well, yeah, exactly. DJ Bassassin's like, yes, there is hope for me.
There is
I
tons
can-
of,
I
he's
can-
talented.
I can drop the national anthem one day at a Super Bowl halftime.
That would
show.
be very.
And I'll tell you what, I would
Remix.
much rather see DJ Bassassin at the
Same.
halftime show than Maroon fucking 5.
What the hell is that about?
This is the Super Bowl. I'm not even.
Oh my
watching
God, I know
this
they don't
year.
get paid to play there, but still.
Really?
Yeah.
It's volunteer?
Yeah.
I would think
No, they
the
have
team
to
would
pay.
volunteer.
They actually have to pay. They get selected,
Oh,
and then they have to pay.
Their
But
label
think about the
pays?
stage. You have a worldwide stage at
That's what
that
they're saying.
point.
Yeah.
Everybody watches the fucking Super
It's a
Bowl.
privilege to be on the Super
Of
Bowl.
Because I
Well,
heard
yeah.
he had trouble. He wanted to have a couple rappers in his show, and he couldn't find rappers that wanted to do that. So I didn't realize that you had to pay. So that's probably why they didn't want to do
Because
it.
they were like,
Right.
Maroon 5? Nah.
They didn't want to pay.
Right.
Okay. So speaking of that,
At
you
least
don't
he
want to
backs-
pay to
backs
play
it with the-
anywhere, but
No.
Yeah. I guess it happens at all levels, no matter what. Even if you're
You see?
fucking,
You know,
Maroon 5, you still have to pay to play.
it really does.
Interesting.
And that's a whole nother
Dichotomy.
entry.
Never
of
ends.
The music industry itself. It's been effed up to begin with.
Why did we choose this life?
We,
What
the
the
thug
hell
life,
is wrong with us?
We didn't choose it. It
The
chose
thug-
us.
the thug life chose us man, out of the way.
That's what I
Let's-
tell my
let's
wife all
listen to
the
this.
time.
Let's
She
listen-
doesn't understand.
She's in the room, dude. She's like,
And you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
you said? I
find
don't.
your own way home.
Just remember that the first record label that the Beatles came across said that they're trash and they're
Oh, yeah.
never going to do anything. Bohemian Rhapsody was considered a joke when they brought it up to
Yes.
the
Yes.
board, and they said this will never do anything.
It
Black
got
Sabbath was
panned by
denied
the
too.
critics.
Everyone gets denied.
Absolutely. So never give up hope.
It's,
Never,
it's just like
ever.
Social Security disability. You get denied no matter what. Then you have to keep
Oh,
keep
well,
going
no,
after.
No,
it.
I've given up hope on Social
You
Security.
reach
I'm
a
getting out of
certain
that,
age, and then they
yeah.
finally approve you.
Yeah. Then they're like, okay, we have to. It's in the paperwork stamp. All right, so let's.
For $6
Next, the
a month.
appropriate age is going to be dead.
I know,
That's
right?
when you get it. Mhm.
It's getting that way.
It's going to pay for some of the
You're-
debt that your
That's what it's for
family will
artists.
ensue.
They're
Yeah.
never appreciated until they're finally dead, huh?
Yeah,
Right?
like Beethoven. Yeah.
so many. And there,
I'm just
And
laughing
we
because
lost-
it's been 5
we
minutes
lost
since I've
picture.
introed the song.
3.5, I promise.
Oh man.
that's almost the perfect amount. Anyway, I gotta get a beer.
Okay, give me one too, please.
Oh, here, I got one for you.
Hey,
Oh,
you
well,
didn't
there you go.
share.
I'll get one
Yay.
afterwards. We're almost done with this episode. Sit your ass back down.
Okay.
All right, so
Let's do an extended episode. I want to talk some more.
I don't have extensions.
If that's
Let's
all
make up for that
natural.
denial last year. See,
Oh.
it's all about denial. Huh?
Oh, he's
It's
gonna
all-
go there.
It's
It's
all,
not
about,
just
it's
the
all
river
about
in Egypt.
denial. It's all about getting.
It's
It's all about not giving up.
Well,
I got
first,
I got
I'll tell you,
denied by
I'm
these
not gonna
guys
give
first.
up. I want to play this damn song.
I gotta go shut the doors.
I know you left it open. I was like, "What are you doing?" No, we're almost done.
Oh yeah, man.
With the reason.
All right, Volcano by
Volcano.
DJ Bassassin.
The emergency alarm. That a volcano is about to erupt.
I was about to
Watch
hit
out
the
for
deck.
explosion.
Yeah.
That's trap right there. Right?
That's trap. Yeah. Little
Gotta
xylophone
hold
for
it.
you.
I like it. Xylophone. Right on.
That's a very
That's rad.
tweaked xylophone, though.
Volcano.
And the volcano erupts.
Yeah.
Me at work when I'm at
Yeah, no, Allie has invented a new dance move.
It's a different kind of keyboard.
Yeah.
my keyboard at work. Okay?
This is how she does though. Like she's sitting there, she's entering like POs and like selling plates and food equipment while she's listening to dubstep and songs about eating ass and shit. Like, yeah, bam, bam.
I don't hear any eating ass going on in this song.
Just keep waiting. Eating ass. There it is. Whoa.
The lava's flowing right now.
volcano.
It's an all play.
Yeah. That's in stereo. Ooh, I like that sound. What was that? That
Just a little ditty there.
really distorted.
Just kind of running down the scale.
Wow.
Really? Sounds
Just a little ditty.
Just a little ditty.
That's a technical term, by the way. It's really called a ditty.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't understand. The people that don't know, that don't know music theory.
Yeah.
Don't know what a ditty is. It's just when I just run down the scale.
No, he's right.
When I just press, I go lower and lower. I just press one key and then another, then another, then another, going lower and lower notes.
Do you also speak the really weird, like musicians vernacular? So if you're trying to communicate something, you use wheedlies and like mets and things like that. Or drummers, blickums. Drummers always know blickums. They're like, oh yeah, blickum.
I thought drums were da 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 da.
Ticka ticka boom ticka ta.
It could go either way. You see.
Exactly. Guitarists always have meh.
So,
meh.
all right. How many CDs or albums do you have out?
Yeah, what do you got?
I have.
Sean,
I have
empty your pockets, fool.
I have 2 EPs out.
Okay.
I have 1 single, The Mauling the Club, and then I have another full CD that's going to be released this year. I'll just say May. I feel like releasing it in May.
That's my target now. It just developed the target now.
I think May.
So where can people go to find your music? Because I'm telling you, if you didn't like EDM and you don't think EDM is music, you got to listen to your stuff because it's good.
DJ Bassassin started out as
Bassassin.
Bassassin. We are just.
I just screwed you up. That's awesome. I pulled it off.
Bassassin.
Totally Inception, Kim.
I Inceptioned.
You can call what you want. Just pay me for my music. That's all that matters to me.
Sorry, I'm not paying you shit.
Perfection. I love it.
But seriously, go buy his music. It seems like it's a different kind of EDM, and you're developing your own style. You're fitting it in perfectly, and you have every other Friday at
the Moxie in downtown San Diego
on 6th Street. Right in the middle, the heart of downtown. So
9 to 1.
If you don't want to buy it yet, go see his damn show. He's got a residency there because this is I'm impressed, and you guys are
equally impressed.
Yeah, and Allie even came down.
Girls' night.
Yeah, I mean we got Allie on the mic, so that says something. So, dude, seriously, DJ Bassassin, thank you so much for coming out and having a seat on the Dusty Futon with us.
Thank you for finally choosing me.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, what's your website? Where can people go and find you?
So my website is www.djbassassin.com. That's DJBassassin.com.
So it's bass. Assin.
Yeah.
Bass ass in.
It's a mashup of bass and assassin
with ass in the middle.
With ass in the middle because I'm the bass assassin. Because in assassin there's 2 asses in it.
You could say be assassin.
That's what telemarketers when they say, "Oh, we have be assassin. We want to book you for." And I said, "Oh yeah."
Click.
Yeah.
If you can't pronounce my name, you're not talking.
Because my email too. Mine is Tyler Johnson SD, like San Diego, but it looks like Tyler Johnson's D.
So, well, it's like you don't want to go to therapist.com because when you type
the
it
rapist.
in, therapist.com. All right. On that note, we're going to go ahead and end this episode.
Yeah. Thank you, Bassassin.
Thanks again for coming out, man.
Hey, thank you for choosing me finally.
You're not going to let that one go.
No.
All right.
Just for that, we're going to have
you
back every other month.
I was stoked.
You're going to have a residency on the futon.
High five.
I was so stoked when I got the email saying Reverb Nation. Oh, you've been selected. Yes. I did it.
That's so awesome.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily something to plot over, but hey, thanks for coming out.
Well, we're happy you're here.
Hey, they take my money every month.
That they do. That they do. I don't take any money from you though. So, all right, we're killing it.
What's this next one called?
No, I just
We're out.
Oh, that's
ended
it.
the episode.
We're peacing out, man.
I thought you were
Sorry.
just
It's
It's called
stop.
The End.
I just hit
It's called
That's,
the
that's it.
It's called Shut Up,
I
Tyler.
actually, I want to hear. Hold on. I want to hear what we got when I hit stop. Money from you though. So, all right,
See
we're
where
killing
we're
it.
at.
What's this next one called? You're right there. Perfect.
That is perfect.
Oh, that's perfect. All right.
I'm cool with that.
That is
Everyone who's listening is gonna be like,
what?
where'd the music go?
Yeah.
It's the best. They're left hanging. Like those people that post those pictures that have the button on there, and you're like,
No.
what's wrong with my phone?
I want you to guess how long we spent recording.
An hour and 30 minutes.
An hour and 10.
10. Okay. Close.
So we could
That's
keep
a
going.
shitload of editing for me to do.
Oh, is that why you, that's why you cut us
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
Oh, I know we're having a great time, but you know, it's like God.
I know. We almost got to talk about music there.
Oh, no.
That's my story either.
Yeah.
That's the problem with these two.
I know, since I want
I
to.
can't even
Hey,
host anymore.
I even
because
went to
they
the
take-
bathroom.
I
Did you
know.
guys a favor.
You did.
That's why it's gonna be the toughest one to edit because we kept getting.
Well, can we
chopped
hear
in.
the fucking story?
I said the first part of it and then never said anything else.
Yeah.
about it.
He lives with 5 guys in Tahoe. That was it.
Yep.
That's what we got.
I think you
No
got
more.
most of it out. So maybe
That's it. That's all we got.
And you were drunk. You were
Yeah.
drunk.
And then like,
Yeah, listeners are sitting there going, I
Yeah.
don't know the rest of the story and I can't sleep at night anymore.
I know. They're gonna. It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
It's a cliffhanger.
It's a cliffhanger.
I feel like we just need to like put them on for like 30 more seconds and be like, okay, I gotta finish that story real quick.
Right?
Oh,
I'm feeling
I need to stand up. That's my thing right now. Oh, I
Well,
went to the gym this morning.
I went yesterday and I hadn't gone in a week.
I had like 4 or 5 beers.
You know what would be funny? Okay.
I had 3
What
beers.
if you did this? What if you finished the story in writing, like you emailed him,
Oh,
and he posts that dot as the last bit, like the intro almost,
even better. Yeah,
and then say,
talk
find out how this story begins
Yeah.
in this episode.
I'll say that as the
Almost
intro.
like Jeopardy. Give
That'll
the
be-
answer
that'll
before
be
the
part of
question.
his intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, seriously, I'm impressed. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
thought
know
your
that.
music was good before. Like, that's why I picked you. The reason I didn't pick you to begin with the first time was because we didn't really have a setup. For that.
Yeah, that was like
Yeah.
a year ago.
Yeah, it was literally
Yeah.
probably a year ago. That was my first foray into reverb.
We had a lot of people
because
So you don't pay them
No.
anything? So
They reached out to
they found our podcast, and the guy reached Mike Robinson reached right out to me, and he's like, "Hey, we want to send you our best artists." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." Yeah, it's like now I don't have to go reach out to them. You were sending them to me.
Those did all the work now.
It's exactly what we needed at that
Mhm.
time, you know, because we were working hard trying to find some people.
Yeah, and these guys, he's got a full-time job. She's got a full-time job, 2 kids, and a husband who she manages.
Yes, sir.
And so it's just like they're volunteering their
You know what
time.
it's like,
Yeah,
right?
I need